You ready?
Am I good? Am I sounding good?
We are good.
We.
We are farmers.
Bruh.
All right, it's Saturday, February 4th. I'm joined here with Liam Ahern. This is the Three Shelf Podcast. Welcome to the 13th episode. Unlucky number 13. I'm Ethan Batista. And speaking of Batista, I saw the new David Batista movie. Oh, he's starring David Batista, but it's the new M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah. Um,
What'd you think of that one?
yeah.
I haven't seen this.
Well, I liked it. I liked it just about up until the
Okay.
end,
All right.
which honestly is a recurring thing with me and M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Are you not into like twists, especially Shyamalan twists?
Here's the thing. I don't think I think that whole like Sixth Sense like Unbreakable twist thing kind of like ruined his career. Not ruined his career, but like has had such a huge burden on it. You know what I mean? Like people just constantly expect something from his like at the end of his movies and stuff like that. And from just like a filmmaking perspective, a lot of his movies from the first to second act are really good. You know?
I agree with that. I haven't seen too many M Night Shyamalan films,
Yeah.
but
Which ones have you seen?
all right. So I've seen The Village, which is like
I haven't seen that one, but I know the twist.
okay. So
Yeah.
The Village. I mean, I guess The Last Airbender, but I don't remember that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Signs.
Have you seen The Visit?
No, I
That's
haven't seen
that
The
was
Visit.
probably the first one I seen from him.
When did that come out?
2015,
2015.
and that was kind of like his return to form. Some
Mm.
people say because before that he came out with After Earth with Jaden Smith,
Oh
Sire.
man. Oh.
Yeah, it was pretty garbage. That's not even pretty garbage. It's one of the worst motion pictures ever made. In my opinion, that's I'm not. I know it's harsh, but
Listen, don't hate on
I
Fire too
really
hard.
yeah.
He turned into Iris because of how bad After Earth was.
Exactly. But like Knock at a Cabin is really good, and to the end, like I said, it kind of falls flat at the end.
But
But Dave Bautista is really fucking good in it.
okay.
Like he, the comparisons with The Rock need to stop because he's way better than The Rock,
Oh,
honestly.
really?
And yeah,
Do you
in
think
act, yeah,
really quickly, do you think The Rock is just typecast?
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what Dave Bautista is starting not to be
Dude.
typecast. Like in this, he's he's a kindergarten. He's not a He's a second grade school teacher. Who would expect him to be that?
Yeah,
But
no.
like, you know what I mean?
Like
But
kindergarten
but it
cop type
works.
shit.
But it works. It's not even like it's like serious, and it really works. And I know you. I feel like you're about to say he's the bodyguard in Bond.
I would holy
Yeah,
shit, I actually was about to bring it up. I was
yeah,
gonna say, well, Batista could be typecast as like that
mm-hmm.
brawny brawler character.
Yeah.
And look, Inspector, he's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. And that's not just because he has a
He's a
fucking
good muscle
amazing
man.
action scene on the
Yeah,
train, which is one of my favorite Bond action scenes, even though it's Inspector. I mean, I don't hate Spectre as much as you do, but also too, like just look at Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
yeah.
you
Drax
know,
is an actual character. It's not Dave Bautista in like alien makeup.
I mean,
You know,
you could think of it like that.
unlike how like
You
I
could
don't know
think
if
of it
you've
like
seen
that.
Black Adam,
No, I haven't
but
seen it
Black
yet.
Adam is just Dwayne Johnson,
It's just The Rock.
yeah, it's not. That's a perfect comparison to see why Dave Bautista is a little bit of a step up, and he's one of the greatest parts in like Knives Out too.
I still haven't seen that or
Yeah.
Glass Onion.
Oh, not Knives Out. Glass Onion.
Glass
He's in
Onion,
Glass
a
Onion.
Knives Out story.
Yeah, whatever.
Daniel Craig's in both those, right?
Yeah, it's a franchise now.
Okay. Are they
I
making?
highly
I'm guessing they're
suggest.
making another one.
Yeah, he's already writing the script, I believe, Ryan Johnson. One other thing I wanted to bring up, the Megan thing, kind of dead now. It's reached the talk show host stage of its meme life.
Mm.
You have a little story about Megan in the Montclair State
Oh,
newspaper.
Jesus.
Yeah,
You want to bring this up for the podcast?
sure. There was an article.
Yeah. So I was interviewed. I think it was like a couple weeks ago now.
Uh-huh.
I was interviewed in that coffee shop, and normally I wouldn't give a fuck about the Montclarian,
Hmm.
but because I was interviewed for it, of course I wanted to check it out. And when flipping through it, there's always like this stupid horoscope page,
Yeah.
and there's some really stupid random shit that they
Predictions.
write in,
Yeah.
and randomly, you've been trying to get me to watch Megan for a while,
Uh-huh.
and
Been
no
a
bull.
recurring thing on the podcast, so
Yeah,
yeah.
really, yeah. For the past three,
That and like
it's been Megan.
X has been like a recurring thing. Like
Shit's a good
several
movie.
people.
And
Yeah.
Jenna Ortega. Wednesday is fucking fire. Anyway, so yeah, I'm flipping through, reading them on Clarion, and on the horoscope page for Sagittarius, which is born in December, it said that you should probably watch Megan. There was some other stuff too, but like the part that stood out was
Yeah.
you should watch Megan,
Right.
which blew me the fuck away because not gonna lie, how the hell
No other, mind you, no other things told you to watch any movies
oh
or
yeah.
anything like that.
None of the other horoscopes mentioned watching any movies.
Yeah.
It didn't even mention like anything like anything that has to do with watching either TV or movies or reading or anything like that. It was specifically for Sagittarius, and I'm a Sagittarius, and it said to watch Megan. So that is a sign I need to watch Megan. Although before that,
Infinity Pool.
I need to watch Infinity Pool because love me a goth, but I also need to watch The Whale and The Menu. Still haven't seen either one of those. And I've been seeing a lot of clips from The Menu specifically. I'm intrigued. One, because I just finished Queen's Gambit, and I really wish we could have talked about this on the podcast.
We can talk about it right now if you want a little bit.
I kind of want to save it. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I know it's like movies.
Yeah.
But I really would like to. I would love to do just like some.
We can do an Anya Taylor-Joy like triple
Anya Taylor-Joy
feature.
one?
I'm serious. We can do.
Have you covered The Menu yet?
No, but I was kind of saving it for Enrique the Chef just because
Okay.
it's only fair.
Enrique the Chef.
Yes, it's
That's
only
a
fair
good
if we
one.
save it for him.
All right, that's fair enough.
But what other Anya Taylor-Joy movies we can do? We could do The Witch, but we could also do that with Robert Eggers.
That's also a good point.
Trying to think what other shit is she in.
I want to watch.
Thoroughbreds is pretty good.
I haven't seen that.
Last Night in Soho. Have you seen that one? That might be a cool one to talk about.
She's the one who it's like the modern and 1960s, right? And it's like a murder mystery sort of.
It's like it's pretty cool.
It looked cool.
Edgar
It looked
Wright,
really, really good.
Same guy who did Baby Driver and stuff like that. Let's talk about like what we're gonna cover today. We're doing a Stephen King episode.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Only fair we do it on like the 13th episode.
Too bad we didn't do Friday the 13th on the 13th podcast.
I was thinking about that, but like we did it on Friday the 13th.
We did it on Friday the 13th.
You know,
so that's good
and we missed the 007 opportunity. That would have been good.
We did.
Let's start with this. What is your history with like Stephen King? Have you read any of his books?
So directly behind me, we're in my triple bedroom. There is The Shining sitting right behind me. And I think American Psycho, the book, is sitting right above it. I am halfway through the Shining book.
Okay.
The book is terrifying. And I also have Salem's Lot, but I haven't started Salem's Lot, although I know that's one of his like better books. Obviously, it is like his shining achievement. I haven't begun to read it because it's a big ass book.
A lot of his books tend to be big, right?
The Shining book, even though there's like profound differences between that and Stanley Kubrick's movie, I really, really enjoy the book almost just as much as I've enjoyed the movie for all my life.
Have you read any other Stephen King books?
No, I was gonna try Pet Sematary.
Pet Sematary.
Yeah, I was gonna try Pet Sematary, but dude, so after rewatching some of the movies that we just did or that we're talking about, I wouldn't mind reading both of them.
Okay. Yeah, well, I tried to read, like, I wanted to read it, and then I saw how long it was.
Massive.
Like, fuck, dude.
Even for
1,000 pages? That's
even for
crazy.
me, dude. Like, I'm in the middle of reading Storm of Swords, which is the third book in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Amazing book. Honestly, the Game of Thrones books are better than the entire show.
Okay.
But, holy fuck. It's like 15... The new book that's supposedly Winds of Winter that's going to be coming out. Yeah. Shit's 1,500 pages.
Mark,
anyway,
this is 2023. If anyone's listening when Winds of Winter comes out.
In 2030.
Yeah.
Just really quickly, fucking segue. Winds of Winter, our pipe burst this morning at 4 a.m. Will and Matt were over, and we were like drunk as shit by 2 a.m. Dude, we got 2 hours of sleep, and all of a sudden, like Justin's a light sleeper, we hear.
You heard it from outside?
Dude, we heard.
Wow.
Justin said that he heard the pipe burst in the lobby, and oh my god, we were stuck outside. the real feel was
Oh,
negative
you had to
20. We
evacuate.
had to evacuate. The fire
Oh
alarm went off.
my
We had to
God.
stand outside. Luckily, we went to Justin's car,
Yeah.
but we had to go outside at 4 in the morning,
For how long?
still hungover for like 45 minutes.
Damn, man.
That was fucking awful. Anyway, we experienced the winds of winter last night.
If you have a taste for terror, you have a date with Carrie.
Yeah, so 1976, Carrie. This is the first Stephen King adaptation of movie. It came out 2 years after the book came out, which was
Okay.
1974.
4.
It's one of his shorter novels, honestly.
Mm.
They got Brian De Palma, who there was a group of filmmakers: George Lucas, Spielberg, Scorsese, Coppola, and De Palma. Those are like, but those are like the five like pioneers of like quote unquote after like New Hollywood was fully formed. And like, I don't know, De Palma out of all, the five of them has kind of been like forgotten a little bit. But he's made some fucking bangers.
What are the movies?
Scarface.
Oh man.
Yeah. He
Okay.
made Scarface. He made Mission Impossible.
Oh, okay.
The 90s one.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one. The first one.
First one.
Untouchables. Have you ever seen that? It's a gangster movie.
That's Al Capone, right?
Yeah.
That's De Niro's Al Capone.
Yeah. He made a movie, underrated John Travolta movie. I don't even think it's that underrated because Quentin Tarantino shouts it out so much. But like Blowout, that's the role that
Haven't seen it.
John Travolta. That's basically what got John Travolta the role of
Pulp Fiction.
yeah, Pulp Fiction. I think he's also made Sisters, which is underrated, and he's also kind of like a Hitchcockian, like kind of guy. He makes a lot of thrillers. Dressed to Kill. It's another like Psycho clone, but it's really good. Apparently, I haven't seen it.
You think Carrie's a thriller?
Not really, but like it's horror. You know, horror
Definitely horror.
thriller. What are your general thoughts on,
Okay.
on Carrie? And then,
So-
like, have you seen it before? What are,
Yes.
like, what's your history?
Okay. So with all three of these movies, I've seen them many times before. However, for Carrie and the next one we're going to talk about, I haven't seen them for a while. My parents both were like the perfect age. They were both teenagers. My dad was like I think he was 20
Okay.
when this came out, and they would always have it on. But I was never allowed to watch the first 20 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, I wonder
And
why.
I'm not gonna lie, I haven't seen this in about like 4 or 5 years. Like
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen it since being in college.
Yeah.
And not gonna lie, I've matured a lot from high school. And watching the beginning of this movie, I was very, very uncomfortable with the
Oh,
first
yeah.
20 minutes of this movie. I don't know. It's just maybe it's like the score throughout this whole movie that it's something just a little unsettling. Even as a kid, when like even though I didn't see like the shower scene and like the tampon and her getting her first period, the whole score was just very unsettling. But specifically in the beginning, like I don't know why, like it's so weird. Like seeing like
it's-
all these underage high school girls
Euphoria.
and Big Mouth.
And Big Mouth. I haven't seen Big Mouth, but
I don't want to talk about Big Mouth. Just
no. Okay.
But yeah, so the beginning of the movie, I mean, like obviously, like obviously, like Carrie has her period, and they're all whipping the tampons at her. The middle of the movie is there's just like a lull. I feel like,
Mm.
and it's before like all the scenes where like it's the main bitch girl. I
Yeah.
forgot her name, but also John Travolta's shitty character,
Yeah.
and all.
Did you?
there's-
I kind of forgot he was in this.
No, I didn't forget he's in it.
I forgot what he's.
Dude,
was
he
in
has
this.
some
Yeah.
when he butchers the pig, that whole like middle
Yeah.
scene. Oh, dude, it's just
Well,
like
can I tell you my history with it?
okay.
All right.
Yeah, we kind of jumped the gun a little bit.
I have very similar experiences with this and The Shining in that I walked in on someone watching it and was fucking terrified.
Okay.
You know what scene I walked in on?
What's it?
When Carrie, spoilers by the way, it's a almost 50-year-old movie. So I walked in on the scene where Carrie's mother tries to kill Carrie,
Okay.
and then Carrie kills his mom.
Her mom.
Her mom fucking terrified me, and I feel like
Yeah.
the music there is the
Dude.
most terrifying.
Yep.
It is like it's still like I can still remember vividly walking in there and like just being glued to the screen, like can't like a car crash, like not looking away from it, but being fucking
like a car crash.
like being terrified though. Like it was
This
but I
This
was
score,
glued to it, man. It was crazy.
this score
Uh-huh.
reminds me a lot of the Exorcist score, where like it's not normally like you wouldn't think that it sounds horrifying, but when paired with like just the images
It's
on the
very
screen,
yeah.
dude, I don't like, I'm not terrified by it. Even as a kid, like I wasn't like terrified by Carrie.
I was
I was
terrified by it,
terrified by The
dude.
Shining.
The mother was fucking
The mother,
terrified. And the lighting and all the candles, she just looked like a psycho, man. And the fact that like
I hate the Jesus eyes.
even
The
yeah,
Jesus
oh my,
eyes are
the
one
Jesus
of the
eyes.
creepiest things like in
And-
this movie.
and the
Probably the creepiest thing.
Yeah, and the fact that like for me, like as a kid, just comprehending that like someone would do like that to her daughter
Yep.
is like scary. It scared the fuck out of me, man. And like,
It's just really unsettling.
It really
the
is.
whole thing is the
And
entire film's unsettling.
and you wanted to bring up the score. They used the Psycho theme, like legit, just used the Psycho theme, several times, and it works though. It doesn't feel that derivative, honestly, and like it's noticeable, but like it's like, oh wait, whatever.
It's only
you know?
it's only specifically for certain parts when she's
Yeah,
using
and
her,
De Palma is, dude, he's
her
literally
psychic
like
powers.
the perverted Hitchcock. Another weird thing about the score, this was weird. The synth music while they're
Yeah.
doing the punishment scene.
Yeah.
Very
Listen, man.
this movie is very 70s.
Oh my dude. What? Okay, so when Tommy is dragging his friend into the tuxedo place, dude, one of the best. This okay, hold on.
Go on.
Even before we talk about how unbelievable like this random sped up portion of them talking, even before that, one of the fucking funkiest grooves in a movie is just playing. In like it's just randomly just starts when they're going into a tuxedo shop. That is fucking awesome. I loved that.
It was like it's so
Random, but I
unnecessary,
loved it.
but like it hit.
Dude, it
Dude,
absolutely
it fucking hit. We can get into let's start with the characters. Carrie, played by Sissy Spacek, Oscar-nominated performance, which is rare for a horror movie. I
just
really
felt
like
so-
it.
I felt so bad for her.
And you really feel bad for the
even with
sympathy
the
thing.
end, even
Yeah.
with the ending, like she is just and like this is one of the best things about this film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, like this movie is just known for the one prom scene. However, like rewatching it, and I'm
Yeah.
a little bit older, and I can appreciate. I love horror movies.
Yeah.
And I love talking about them. But this movie has so many just like little moments that really, even besides the prom scene, those little moments just add up. And I really like going back and watching this. I was like, dude, listen, there are some. We're gonna get into this a little bit later because there are issues. But
Yeah.
dude, in general, every main character's performance is amazing.
Yeah.
There are some side like John Travolta's side.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck John Travolta was doing in 1976, but holy shit, man.
Hey,
he was
Saturday
a
Night
little-
Fever is a year away, you know?
Dude,
He's coming.
the blowjob scene, like
Wait, okay, we could talk about that blowjob scene. First off,
we just opened up a lot of scenes. There's so much shit to
Yeah.
talk about in Carrie. And it's a short movie. This movie's only an hour and 30 minutes,
it
right?
speeds by. It's great.
It
I
goes
love
by
it.
so fast.
Movies should be more like this.
In and out.
The blowjob scene. First off, how is she saying I hate Carrie White while she's sucking John Travolta's dick? Like,
Dude.
how is she doing that?
And just another thing too, dude.
Imagine how
what
that's how
is-
Pulp Fiction turned out.
Oh, oh Jesus! Now I'm just imagining. I just gotta say one thing about this relationship, and also too, just in general, like all the people in this movie, there's just clear like abuse going on.
Oh yeah,
Domestic
Yeah.
abuse. There's child abuse. Why, like the teacher slapping like the girl.
Oh my! I completely
She
forgot about
she,
that.
like,
She's
fucking
so out of
winded
line.
back.
She's
She wound back and slapped the shit out of
you know,
her.
the teacher's low key jealous of the girls. I think.
Okay, yeah.
I think she's a little.
When she's talking
jealous.
about prom with Carrie,
Yeah.
and she's like, well, I walked I had to walk half a mile in these 3-inch high heels,
Yeah.
with a 6'7" basketball player. Like, there's just a ton of moments that not only were unsettling for the wrong reasons, but also too just kind of a little like random and a little unnecessary. Like the blowjob scene.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like, like why put that in there?
Only in a 1970s movie though.
We know she hates Carrie White. She don't have to say it while she's got John Travolta's cock in her mouth.
That's to convince him to do it. You know, he's always thinking with his dick. He's kind of a
He is thinking
bimbo.
with
You know, he's drinking,
Yeah.
dude. He's
He had a road
road
soda. Get a road soda.
And she's just fine with it. Like,
Yeah.
it's all right.
Dude, she gets slapped like 3 times and she's totally fine with it. Don't talk to me like that again, babe. What a fucking... Both of them are
Completely
psychopaths.
different from Danny Zuko. I wanted to bring up the mother.
You said mother really weird. The mother.
The mother. Well, the mother is very fucking terrifying. That's
Yeah,
why I brought up
she's
the
horrifying.
mother.
I have a
I'm Justin De Niro. I'm talking specifically to you. This is a bad mother, okay? Not the mother from Home Alone. This is a bad mother.
Dude, the mother from Home Alone, I haven't seen that podcast yet.
Yeah.
But the mother from Home Alone, like, listen, man, she's got a fuck ton of kids. Like, you're
Exact-
gonna forget Kevin McAllister.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. Thank you. That's all I wanted to say.
Now look, for the second movie when she forgets him again,
That's when you can make the
yeah,
argument. That's when you can make the argument. But he kept begging on that point. But anyways, the mother in this
is a horrible
so
mother.
good though.
Horrible.
Besides the prom scene, obviously, my favorite scene is the kitchen scene with the lightning. I love the lighting. I love how
Yeah.
dark it is. You could see like the whatever like Jesus mural on the wall.
Mhm.
It's so fucking
It's
creepy and
creepy.
haunting. And her performance reminds me a lot of Pearl.
Yep.
And the whole
Yep.
dynamic and shit like that. And that one scene kind of
It's
reminds
crazy.
me. Of
I was
Pearl.
gonna bring it up. I was actually gonna bring
Oh,
it
really?
up. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
well-
I'm not even capping. I actually was thinking that, but good that you brought that up.
Yeah, I mean, these two movies would make a great double feature, like Pearl
Yeah.
and Carrie.
Well, because one is 1970s and the other is desperately trying to make it like it's 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a triple feature would be this Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Pearl.
and Pearl.
Yeah.
You show Carrie first because it's like the least gory.
Yeah.
Even though I mean it's pretty. She's covered
Dude,
in gore.
yeah.
By the end.
But like the aesthetics of this movie too, it's dated, but like I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, it
honestly.
works. Like
it works.
dude,
It
I
really
love,
does.
I love like the lighting for the prom. Oh, really quickly.
Did you
hold
like the
on.
split screen?
The split diopter?
Classic.
The split diopter.
Oh,
shot?
split diopter shots are great.
Shout
but,
out
like,
to Dead Meat.
But there's one in Reservoir Dogs too.
Mhm.
The fucking classic De Palma split screen though.
Yep.
Dude,
Awesome.
it's awesome, and it actually makes it that much more scarier in
Yep.
a way because it comes out of nowhere. It's like holy shit! Like what am I?
Think about it. It's trying to capture the scene where you're having your time in your life, at senior prom, and then all of a sudden everyone around you dies. And they all get burned to death, or they get crushed to death, or really stupid, Tommy gets hit over the head with a fucking empty bucket and dies. I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure how that works.
I think that's a Stephen King script problem thing.
Yeah.
In the movie, he gets knocked out. He burns in the fire. He dies. But apparently, in the book, he dies when the bucket hits his head, which
Oh,
is really
that's
fucking
stupid.
stupid. That's
That's
why they count it
stupid.
like that.
If it was a full bucket of pig's blood, then maybe.
Yeah,
But
and the
fucking
shot leading up to
bucket
the drop,
Yep.
it's like a oneer.
Yep.
It starts off like on the table, and it goes like through
It follows the rope up. I
It
love
follows.
that.
Oh, dude, and they made like I can't even imagine how they did it.
It's like the Babylon one. Remember? In the movie
Yeah,
theater?
yeah,
That
the
was
crane
cool.
shots,
That was
but like
awesome.
this is before like all those technical cranes could do all that shit. So
Mm-hmm.
it's even more impressive now. Like cinema.
But you know what? Even besides those two shots, I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna talk about the one right before it. Not right before it, but the one a
The
couple
spinning
scenes
one?
before it. Dude, I don't know why. I never noticed as a kid,
Yeah.
but like it's just that one take, and it like gets faster and faster and faster.
Yeah.
I don't know why I fucking love that. It's like one of my
It's
favorite
cool,
parts of
and
the
it's like
movie.
such a sincere like moment in the
Yeah.
movie. I want to talk about that guy. I forget his name.
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
The guy who takes Carrie out.
Yeah, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy. He's so sincere, and like I bought into like him actually like liking Carrie and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and they have good chemistry.
Dude,
Both Sissy Spacek
so
and him.
This
I wanted to
time-
bring up though.
bro.
I'm sorry. He auditioned for Luke Skywalker. Those 5 directors, George Lucas and De Palma were both were auditioning for Star Wars and Carrie at the same time for both of the
Wow.
movies. So
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
that guy was also auditioning for Luke Skywalker. Imagine that.
Well, he got Carrie. So.
Yeah.
Rewatching the movie
Mhm.
now, about like 4 or 5 years later, scenes like where there's just like I've noticed like subtle progression in movies now.
Yeah.
Thanks Hereditary, because Hereditary is like you can rewatch that film. I know some people don't like rewatching it. I love rewatching Hereditary, and you just notice like breakdown of a character, or do you mention, or like it could be the opposite, where like you start to notice like the improvement of a character. That's exactly what I loved about Carrie in this movie, because she starts to stand up to her mom.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if this is just like the actress's not fault, obviously, but
Uh-huh.
in the beginning of the movie, look, Carrie, she doesn't look great.
Yeah.
She looks really weird.
Well, you know what they did? Sissy Spacek is like, she didn't take a bath. She didn't wash
Really?
up in between days of takes, and
That
like
makes
she
sense.
once, yeah,
That makes sense. But then, like, by the time that she gets to the prom, like, not only is she, like, she's looking beautiful,
uh-huh,
but also too, she's a lot more confident.
yeah,
And that's all just because of like, Tommy. Tommy took her out.
yeah.
But dude,
Unfortunately,
like,
it's all a front though.
it's all a front, and also too, what I love.
But it actually isn't though. That's what makes it.
What do you mean? What do you mean it's not a front?
Like the Tommy actually like.
Oh,
letting her
well,
for-
yeah, Tommy.
Yeah,
But like just in general, like the prom
Yeah,
and
the prom
them
thing, yeah.
winning, king and queen is a front. It just sucks though, and especially when like rewatching Carrie, because you know it's coming,
Yeah.
and you just see like everything just goes so well. Like the gym teacher, I forgot her name,
hmm
but she's like all happy for her, and there's like really sincere moments, and then it just crashes down, it crashes and burns.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
But I kind of want to talk about the other scenes of the movie just besides the prom scene.
Yeah. What else?
And well, we mentioned it before, the fucking random sped up scene in Tuxedo Rental Place.
Yeah.
That is the most random thing in the. Why did it speed up? It's kind of funny, actually. I kind of like
Dude,
it.
it's great. I love it.
It's a comedic scene.
I love the nerdy character too. He picks like the
shirt.
t-shirt
Yeah.
tuxedo. What other scenes? It's
Creepy Carrie.
Oh yeah, that's Brian De Palma's nephew.
Oh, really?
Something like that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What else?
You know what? Actually, really quickly, just about
Yeah.
this scene, I like how it's really, really small detail, but like he's weaving in and out of the tree, and
Yeah.
it just goes back and forth. It's like it just shows him going out in the street
Uh-huh.
and then going back in and then almost out to the street. I don't know. It's such a small little detail, but I kind of fuck with it.
Oh, I wanted to bring up the Totally girl from Halloween is in this.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like Mario.
She does look like Mario. Who the fuck wears a hat
Oh,
to prom?
yeah, that was a terrible choice. But
Oh my God. Dude,
and she where's wait, didn't you mention? Did you just mention her eyebrows?
I mentioned Carrie's eyebrows, yeah.
Oh, but her eyebrows also.
Yeah, her
are
eyebrows
drawn
are
on.
also messed up.
Got that Mia Goth look. That's why we compared Sissy Spacek with like Mia Goth.
Oh,
and, like,
dude, fuck yeah.
yeah, like if you're gonna make a Carrie now, cast Mia Goth as Carrie.
Well, I mean, in 2013, they put, what was it? It was Chloe Grace Moretz.
Moretz, yeah. This
That
also
was
I believe a TV movie of Carrie in 2002. And there's also The Rage 2. Oh, The Rage, Carrie 2.
Yeah.
I have no idea what.
The Rage.
I've never seen any of those, nor do I.
How the
care
fuck
to
would you? Is it so?
watch
Is it
them.
like a direct sequel, or
I don't know, man.
I mean,
I
how
don't
would you
know.
do that?
I don't know.
So it's
I
like
haven't
Jason
seen
Goes to Hell, Carrie Goes to Hell.
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I haven't even done.
I'll
any
tell you
research.
this.
Yeah.
As a kid, you want to talk about terrifying moments, dude? As a kid, oh man, the ending did give me a nightmare.
Well,
Like,
first
I
off, can we
remember
talk about
the
how
nightmare.
John Travolta and his girlfriend dies?
Dude, you missed it before. You said
Yeah.
something like I don't remember what the line was, but you mentioned like a car. Oh, you said car crash, and I was just like, bruh. I thought you were foreshadowing because fucking car crash.
Yeah, bro. Awesome way to die.
Awesome.
And it's like it's such a cool car
Dude,
crash.
Friday the
too.
13th Part 6.
Yeah, but this
Chapter
is actually
six.
like this is fucking
lot- it's a lot
awesome,
cooler.
and it's more satisfying because you want John Travolta that.
Oh
piece
yeah,
of-
absolutely.
And he's like drunk as fuck in the car, like,
Yeah.
oh, go hit her.
And just also too, I just
Yeah.
fucking love how it doesn't even land, and she just blows it up. I love it.
Yeah,
It flips over a ton of times, and then like while it's about to fully tilt over,
it blows up. It's awesome.
Fuck both of them. They were horrible characters to carry.
And then
I hate Carrie White. Like what
it's
the
so
fuck?
clear too.
Yeah.
It's like whatever.
John Travolta's
Most
got a-
bizarre,
John Travolta's got a-
probably
mic
it's
cock.
up there with most bizarre blowjob scenes with Ghostbusters. You know.
Oh my, whoa.
Yeah.
That's a weird. I haven't seen Ghostbusters in a fat minute.
But do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, you're right.
The ending. Carrie,
Scared me as a kid.
how it did too. I completely forgot how she died though. The scream, the moan that she does.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but it works, man. It's
And then they're in
very
the-
hammed up.
Then they're
You
in the
know,
closet, and it's like the Jesus eyes
the
again.
Jesus eyes again.
The,
Yeah.
the shot. I think it's another split diopter shot.
Yeah.
Where it's the Jesus statue and Carrie when she got hit over the head and passed out and she was literally dragged to hell, poltergeist
Oh, I
style.
wanted to bring up the Jesus thing. The production designer also did The Revenant and There Will Be Blood.
Wow. How the fuck did you go from California, even though this isn't supposed to take place in California, right? There's,
I don't know.
I mean, there's
Maine. I'm
palm
guessing
trees.
everything takes place in Maine in Stephen King's books, so I don't know.
I am
I'll look it up. But go on.
either way. Yeah, it's a little shocking because I mean, Revenant and There Will Be Blood make more sense together than fucking Carrie. Like,
Start
where
from
the
somewhere.
Jesus, where did the Jesus, creepy Jesus statue turn into sweeping shots of landscapes?
I mean,
in
he's the
both
production
movies.
designer, though.
Oh,
He-
so okay,
not
so
the
like
director.
the oil rig in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
oil derrick
yeah.
in There Will Be Blood.
But like I'm saying, he had to make that crazy Jesus thing.
Did you talk about There Will Be Blood?
No.
Okay. When
Okay,
you
if
talk
you-
about There Will Be Blood,
Do you
let
want to
me-
do it?
There Will Be Blood. I feel like we have to do like No Country for Old Men with that. I'm kind of like that.
We already
like,
did No Country for Old Men.
What?
We talked about it too. About how, Danny Carlson. We did it on the 7th episode.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I know that was a good one. I was like, fuck.
Oh,
I didn't watch it until then.
Dude.
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite movies and books.
Listen to it.
Me.
He talked about the book too.
I'll listen to it.
But like we also talk about Daddy Daycare on that podcast. So yeah.
Your shit. So you put There Will Be Blood or motherfucker.
Well, we did. Okay,
He
Danny.
put-
Danny was a first-time guest, and I always do the first-time guest gets to pick whatever movies they want.
Okay.
He
He
picked-
really so he chose No Country.
Yes.
Good for Danny.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do a triple with Danny.
Because
Every single podcast, it's just you and me.
It's hard to set up these things, man, with a bunch of people.
wanna do
we
it
were
with
gonna do.
Arrow.
Danny was supposed to be with the Spider-Man one, but like things fall through. People have lives. I
How
understand.
could you possibly you can do Spider-Man with Chaffee, but you can't do Spider-Man with fucking me?
We
How
could do,
many
dude.
times?
We could do. We
How
could.
many times have I talked about
Spider-
Spider-Man
dude.
2? Dude, Spider-Man
Wait,
1
wait,
is
wait,
my
wait.
favorite movies ever.
Liam. But we could do like the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Fuck you. I'm done with doing. I want to do a good set of movies. I mean, this is a good set. This is a great set of
Yeah, what are you
movies.
talking about? Yeah, we're
This is a-
talking about
this is a
Carrie.
great- I want to have like another theme. Honestly, you know what?
This is the theme episode. What are you
Shut
talking
fucking-
about? What are we on?
We just went on a fucking
Yeah.
20-minute rampage.
Crazy tangent. Going back to Carrie. The ending. The fucking house just gets fucking
I said
total.
Poltergeist style.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, maybe we do Poltergeist. Maybe that would be a thing.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah. But yeah, Poltergeist style fucking falls down. I guess not Poltergeist style because it predates it.
Yeah. Wow.
Um,
Holy shit. You're right.
Yeah.
6 years before? What's
Yeah.
Poltergeist? 82.
6 years. You're right. 6 years. 84, 82. So it is 6
And
years.
Ghostbusters was 84. Right.
Yeah. Bizarre blowjob scenes. We should do that.
That would be a
We talked
really
about
weird segment.
Buffalo 66, and that has a. Well, we didn't talk about. Well, Vincent Gallo, the director of that movie, he actually has a movie where he has an actual on-screen blowjob. And it's bizarre.
I was not expecting to rewatching Carrie this morning as
Uh-huh.
much as I did.
No,
And I really
it's
enjoyed
great.
watching it.
Like Brian De Palma is underrated filmmaker now. I think he's an underrated filmmaker.
Even though
Yeah.
I liked watching this movie, and I mentioned this before, there are faults with it.
Yeah, and the ending. We forgot to mention the ending.
We've been talking about. We've been like.
Friday the third. No, I'm talking about the jump scare at the
Oh, okay.
end.
Well, I said that terrified me as a kid.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's just so. It is really fucking terrifying.
Terrifying.
And the music is also like
Yep.
hits, and like Friday the 13th kind of ripped it off
Yes, it did.
with that ending. But
I really love like just going back to the score.
yeah,
All the scenes where it's the very serene moments with
Yeah.
Carrie herself, and it's like that very like gentle theme. I
Mhm.
like that, and those hit really hard for some reason.
it's great.
But there's other parts like just the beginning and the end. Like sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I think in the beginning it did not work, so I was just creeped out. Like not creeped out as in like like oh unsettling.
Yeah.
Creeped out as in like ooh this is just like oh.
Oh yeah, it like I said, Brian De Palma, perverted Hitchcock.
Perverted Hitchcock.
What would you give it? Shelf rating?
Okay. Even though this is not my favorite Stephen King adaptation,
Yeah.
I would still, just because it's a classic, and honestly, like there's so many good scenes in this movie and the performances are awesome.
Yeah.
I would put this on the top shelf.
I'm-
Not glass case,
Yeah.
but top shelf.
I
You're really gonna think I'm putting this in mid shelf?
I'm thinking of putting this in a glass case.
How about this? What if you like
I,
go back and I don't know how you can do this, but you
yeah,
should really do like glass cases for specific genres. So like horror glass case. This
yeah.
absolutely would be a horror
This
glass
is going
case.
into the coffin then. How
Going into the
about that?
coffin.
Yeah. How about
Going into
that?
the coffin.
It's going into the glass coffin.
It's going into the fucking ground. Is more like it. Literally, like with fucking Carrie in the house.
Um, yeah. Well, we'll think of the fucking ratings later, but for now, I'm giving it a glass
Glass
case.
case.
This might be my favorite De Palma movie. Scarface, though.
Dude,
Scarface
Scarface.
is you know
It's
what? Scarface might be my
Scarface.
favorite, but this is a close second. Sissy Spacek is just one of the greatest horror performances ever.
Do you think Sissy Spacek is better or the mother? I think the mother's better. Because every single scene with the mother
It's hard because
completely
it's like because the movie.
I have a transition, by the way.
Yeah.
I have a very good
I
you can
think
can
Sissy
figure
Spacek is better. I think.
you think she's better than the mother?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you said that this is a glass case. What would you
Yeah.
rate it out of 10?
I'm not gonna do that.
You're not gonna do that at all?
Nope.
What do you mean? We did that before.
I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
You can do it.
You say
You can
glass
do it.
you
Yeah.
say glass case
Yeah.
or coffin.
I'm guessing. Okay, let me say guess your number. You're gonna give it like a 9 out of 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're 9 out of 10. If I wasn't so uncomfortable from like all the naked underage girls and just like
Mind you,
the
these girls
unsettling
are
moments. I know.
probably not underage. And let's not forget that Friday the 13th Part 2
literally has
literally
16
had an underage girl.
I can't.
That's
I don't
crazy.
yeah, I'll give it a 9 out of 10 and I give this top shelf. Because like unlike another movie we're going to talk about, I don't think it deserves that glass case rating.
All right.
So, we were just talking about whether or not the mother her performance pretty much reminded me exactly of another performance
Oh, you're-
in The Mist. But guess what?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
fucking hated, dude. You want to talk about one of the most dislikable human beings in a horror movie? Holy shit, Mrs. Was it is it Caraway?
Caraway or something
Caraway.
like that.
Oh my god.
All right. Wait. Hold
did
on.
Not realize how fucking intolerable this woman was.
Yeah. Since this is a lesser known Stephen King book.
Whoa. Oh, book. I thought you were about to say movie.
Movie.
Dude, this is like one of the most notorious
Yeah.
endings for a movie.
But I don't think
Ever.
it's at the classic status that like Carrie
no,
and, like,
it's
Shining
not.
is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna explain the plot a little bit. It's about a father and his son after a stormy night go to a grocery shop with their neighbor. The night it's clear that something's going on because they see military and shit going on and the power's out. And when they're at the supermarket, they basically get trapped in the supermarket when this mysterious mist comes in. And that's
There's
basically
something in the mist.
exactly. And basically the whole movie takes place in this shopping market from here on then. What did you think about the mist? Oh wait,
Okay.
hold on. This was first off, it was directed by Frank Darabont.
Hell yeah.
So, director of Shawshank Redemption, director of The Green Mile. So he knows his
And
Stephen
the
King
first
shit.
2 seasons of The
The
Walking Dead.
And if you've noticed,
Oh yeah.
there's a few
Oh, yeah.
familiar faces that you might see on here.
Dude,
Care to say some of them? Yeah.
I'm pulling up the actors' names because holy shit, Dale from The Walking Dead. I don't know why I loved him in The Walking Dead, and I fucking love him in this movie.
Also, this
think-
movie was originally supposed to be shown in black
Black
and
and white.
white.
Maybe it should have.
Yeah, the CG is very questionable at points, and there's a lot of harsh lighting that like really would benefit if you
Yeah.
saw it in like black and white.
Oh yeah,
You know,
dude, and it's also like it's a monster movie.
it's
so
really. If you notice, it's brightly lit sometimes.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yes,
It's weird.
Um,
I don't know why they didn't do it, and it's kind of like a throwback if you look at it. Like
Alfred Hitchcock, The Birds.
yeah, the Birds, the Twilight Zone, that type of shit. Like oh my god, everyone's in panic. Like that religious character, like you said.
I'm a little curious
Yeah.
about. Okay, besides the shitty CG, really bad CG,
Uh-huh.
dated. I'm curious to what you think overall of the movie first. I want to hear what you overall think of it first.
Well, overall,
besides talking about specific scenes, because there are a
yeah.
ton of them I want to talk about.
Okay, well, did you Okay, I'll say my history with this. I saw this at a young age.
Same.
This was probably the earliest one I saw out of Carrie, Shining, out of all of them. This is the one I saw first, and fully, you know.
This is the last one that I saw out of all. Of them.
I'm pretty sure I found it on a DVD in like the library or some shit. And
makes sense.
First off, I noticed that there was a lot of Walking Dead characters.
Yep.
Because this was a time when I was still watching like the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead, and the first 2-3 seasons. It was around that time, like 2010, 11, 12. The ending just was the biggest thing for me that really affected
Really?
me. I thought
okay.
I thought the ending was like,
Oh.
like damn,
Okay,
you know,
all
like
right,
as a kid, I was like, fuck, man, this is crazy. And to me, the ending still, like, is really effective. You know what? Spoiler alert. When he kills everyone in that
This car.
like that car, and right, like 5 seconds afterwards, it all gets cleared up.
Who knew that Carol from The Walking Dead would have made it out?
She found her kids.
Melissa McBride, dude.
I'm like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like a Twilight Zone-y thing. Like, that wouldn't practically happen.
No.
You know, it was like very like Saturday, morning
Dude,
thing.
a full-grown like 6-foot biker guy gets chopped in half, but Melissa McBride's Carol is she walks out perfectly fine with her kids too.
Yeah, that's true. But she
okay.
found her kids. It's very nice, you know.
Would you say the ending overshadows the rest of the film?
Definitely, yeah.
For you, it does.
It
Okay.
Yeah, it does. And like, I feel like the movie kind of is over. Like, if I'm gonna get into any criticisms, I feel like the movie's a little too long. You know, we kind of get where we're going. You disagree?
Yep.
Okay,
I'll tell you why.
Okay.
'Cause we're about to break down the mist because I actually really fucking enjoyed it. I loved watching this morning.
But
I had a blast watching this morning.
Other than that, and other than like the hamminess of it, like it's still like it wasn't like it was a little cliche, but I still enjoyed it very much. What did you think about it?
Okay.
Seems like you have high praise.
Really quickly,
Yeah.
I saw this as a kid. I did not like it as a kid because it freaked me the fuck out. I did not like the whole like idea of this mist and storms. I did not like that.
Did you see The Fog, John Carpenter?
No, I haven't seen
That was
that.
a good one.
Yeah, so I wasn't a fan of like all like the flying monsters and like the gigantic one at the end. But I haven't really rewatched it too many times. Like it's been a long time since I rewatched this movie. And rewatching it this morning for the podcast, dude, there are so many just good scenes in this movie. And like forget the CG, just I really like how it's just a small film. It's just really condensed. And what's interesting though is that I think my biggest criticism besides the CG, I do not like David. I do not like that actor's performance at all. I think he has the worst performance in the entire film. I
was gonna get to that.
There's just so many like weird line deliveries, like his scream at the end. Like I understand, like he's just shot his kid.
Ugly screams are hard, and
Yeah.
I bought into that.
But even
but
the
like
whole movie, though.
the character is kind of
Yeah.
like just whatever. You
You
know?
know what's another really
Whatever.
thing, dude?
Yeah.
People.
But the characters are caricatures. You know, he's the
Yeah,
very
it's
protective
tropes.
dad.
It's
It's
tropes.
tropes. That's why it works better in black and white.
There's something in the mist.
All right, we're back. The batteries went out of the audio interface, but while we were gone, Liam, you care to share what happened to your Chipotle?
So before we had our little battery interlude,
Yeah.
remember how we were saying that the ending to this movie is very tragic? Guess what? My
Uh-huh.
Chipotle order fell out of the fucking fridge. The entire thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Liam.
I'm
As
sorry
I
too.
was saying, though, The Mist is actually a novella, not an actual full novel. So I could see how like that concept could, I felt like it felt a little stretched out, but
I think every scene has purpose in this movie. That's what I think. I think it's a
Really?
progression of you see how is it Caraway or Callaway? Miss Carmody. I feel like there's just no scene where I'm I'm not invested
Uh-huh.
or I'm uninterested. I feel like every single scene was good. And like even like in the beginning of the film before like the mist comes,
Yeah.
like you get to learn that his neighbor is a douchebag. And you also get to learn
There was a
that
few characters I thought they were a little unnecessary.
the guy who got burned, I think his name was John or
Yeah.
something. I didn't really care about him.
Yeah.
The
The love
really
interest
I
for
was just about
the
to say it. You
yeah.
beat me to it. The love interest, like, yeah, sure. I mean, if it was a little bit more fleshed out and not just thrown in there and she fucking dies right away.
Both of the love interests. The love interest for the main guy,
Yep.
or not even. Is it not love interest? Because he
He's
is a
already
married
he's
man.
already married.
That's which is weird.
But then again, like,
Yeah.
listen, I mean, Andrea from The Walking Dead. Come on, man. I would bag that.
He did bang that. He did bang that.
Oh Jesus! One of the criticisms that I do have of The Mist is that, and this is probably why, because it was
Yeah.
a short story, it was a novella. Characters' motivations are not really fully fleshed out. So
The
like,
caricatures, like I was saying.
so
Yeah.
you have like these really random decisions. So like
The
Jim,
neighbor, bro.
the neighbor,
What?
the neighbor randomly, like, he was all happy, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Fuck you! You're trying to trick me. You know, you've been like this my whole life."
You try to sue me.
Yeah.
What?
Like,
What? Where did that come from?
And
Exactly.
also, dude, think about this, right? It wouldn't. The religious lady wouldn't have been like, "Oh, I'm right," if the neighbor didn't leave,
Yeah.
right? Because the neighbor left, and they tied the rope around the biker guy,
Yeah.
and it came back, and the lady was like, "Oh, see what I said? Like, all these people would leave and they would die," and there you go. The other one was when the flying bug landed on her, and
Oh, the
it
flying lotuses
magically
or something like that.
flying lotus.
Oh.
Flying lotus was we landed on her. I didn't see that movie. You were telling me about the Flying Lotus movie, the Flying Lotus horror movie,
Oh, that's a VHS short.
VHS
Oh,
short.
yeah.
But yeah, so if that neighbor didn't change his mind so fast, like all of a sudden, and if he just walked into the loading dock, like if he just walked into the loading dock and saw the tentacle that was chopped off that killed Norm, and you know, if he just saw the blood and the tentacle, then he would have been totally
It conveniently
with it.
disintegrated once he touched it.
Conveniently, yeah.
Yeah.
And then also like Jim changing his motive immediately after going to the pharmacy, which is one of the best scenes of the movie.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of rooting for that
Dude.
guy.
I was rooting for that guy
Yeah.
until you don't.
Yeah. Like, why? I don't know. I didn't buy into
Like
his turn.
literally overnight, he changed.
Yeah,
he
I
turned
did not
into a
buy
religious
into his
zealot.
turn, no.
Or he turned to the religious zealot.
Hmm. The old
Listen.
woman who threw the can at
Yeah.
so good.
Dude,
So funny.
there's so many likable. Listen,
A
even
rip
though-
to her, too. She was
Rip
one of the
to-
ones in the
rip to her.
car.
She's one of
Yeah.
the final.
Yeah.
One of the final members.
And shout out Toby Jones, Dobby from Harry Potter.
The henchman in Captain America, the First Avenger.
That's true. Yeah, this is true.
That movie's a little overrated.
I
in
think
my opinion.
Dobby is a
Dobby's a better choice.
Dobby is a better.
That's crazy that he voices that though. Yeah, so there's just a ton of characters besides the lead that I really loved, like Andrea from The Walking Dead, Dale from The Walking Dead. Loved both their characters. Dude, even I'm willing to go as far as to say this is one of my favorite child performances. I fucking loved the kid in this. I thought he did a great job. Daddy,
as far
don't
as
let the monsters get to me. That was a touching scene. I like that.
yeah,
scene.
he's all right. He's not terrible.
Dude.
But if you want to talk
It's
about
not as-
good child performances, we'll talk about good child
we're about to get
performances.
we're about to get to probably the best child performance.
Did you like? Oh, I was gonna bring up the army guy. Do you recognize him from anywhere? Morales, is that the guy's name?
Dude,
Who got stabbed?
No, not the main, not the
Spoiler
main
alert,
army
by
guy,
the way.
not the main army guy.
The main guy.
He is familiar. However, the Morales from The Walking Dead,
Oh yeah, that's
he's
true.
Morales, the
I
fucking
did not even
military
put
guy.
that together. But the main military guy. Have you ever played Force Unleashed?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
Whoa,
that's Starkiller.
I didn't know that.
that's Starkiller. Yeah, that's him. That's the character they
I
based it
haven't
on.
played Force Unleashed in a minute.
But doesn't he? He looks like him. Yeah, he
Does.
looks like the main character. Also voices
So he
Darth
mocap.
Maul.
So he
He motion captured.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He's
a
like,
weird.
I forget his name. But he's like really he's like really active in like Star Wars. So
It's over him. But yeah, no, his character, like, I mean, I felt really bad for him.
yeah, he sucks.
But like,
He did know about.
Yeah, he
everything.
did know
Could have
about he
told
did
him
know
about
about the portal that led to aliens coming in.
Yeah, that's another thing that's like so 50s about it.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah, like
Totally.
a portal from another dimension.
That's why I like it though.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, the tone fits with the black
Do
and
you
white. I totally understand why it was originally shot that way.
Before we talk about more specific scenes,
Uh-huh.
I just want to say this about this movie,
Yeah.
right? I really love movies where you have like a big event going on, but it chooses to focus on the characters. I think this movie is at its best when it goes back and forth between you're horrified by like the monsters of the mist. At
Yeah.
the same time, you're even more horrified by
What's
the
inside.
people
Yeah.
that you're stuck inside with. That I wish there was more scenes where it was just like the big congregation of people like turning.
There was
on them.
enough. There was enough, in my opinion. There was enough, and it got
No,
repetitive.
I wanted more. No, it didn't.
I felt like the.
If you noticed, I'm gonna defend this right now.
Yeah.
If you noticed, whenever there's a big moment between
someone dies.
Miss Cat was it? I fucking keep forgetting. I can't pronounce her name. Carmody.
Yeah.
Whenever there's the big showdown between Carmody and David, or Carmody and like whatever other guy, like the neighbor, for example. There's always a big event that happens. It like it's a prelude to a big event. It's like a bookend.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm not. Did you get like a War of the Worlds type of vibe from this movie?
Yeah.
I always did.
Yeah.
Even as a kid.
The remake.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise
Yeah.
remake, which I fucking love that movie. But and I also recently rewatched that. But considering that was 2005 and this is 2007, I mean, I don't know why. It's just like, especially the scene, like it's like that big. It's like a poster of the movie where you see the gigantic alien thing marching across the road. I don't know why. It just maybe it was like the tentacles. It just reminded me a lot of War of the Worlds. The ending to that movie compared to the ending of this movie. Oh my god, the ending to War of the Worlds 2005 fucking sucked.
I feel like I think that's how the book ended. I'm pretty sure though.
Where the aliens died out.
Yeah.
Because of human disease. But this one, dude, I was sure you're gonna mention it, but I'm gonna beat you to it. I like this ending more than the novella ending.
Yeah,
the novella ending,
he just walks out.
He just escapes.
Yeah.
But in this,
you don't know what
it's
happens.
just like, whoa. It's just like, oh my god.
Well, that's a cop-out ending, and Stephen King is kind of notorious for his shitty endings.
We're gonna get to the ending,
You know? And I feel like the ending of Carrie changed. I'm not sure what was the exact ending of Carrie, but it doesn't end with a jump scare for sure. The ending for The Shining, I'm guessing changes.
You're guessing. Do you know the ending to the book?
No.
Guess what? We're getting into that bad boy.
Yeah. Okay. The monster, the beast, the big like kaiju thing. That's like. It kind of. Do you remember Siren Head? Do you remember that meme?
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that thing.
Okay, I could see that. This movie also reminds me of like the original Cloverfield.
Oh yeah.
Because like the bugs like ripping flesh out.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, like there's no like it's not handheld. This movie is a tight 2 hours. I say tight because to me there's no uninteresting scene. I love every scene in this movie. There's not a bad moment in this movie. I'm telling you, every moment is great. You kind of are convincing
me because I can't think of like a scene. Look, it's just the spider sequence. I just thought was kind of unnecessary. I really thought like, why did it have to go back out? It made the mist not scary to me. Like they went out they went out to another building. If they kept it into the supermarket till the very end, it would have. I know you have to keep things. I know you have to keep things.
You gotta keep things
moving and stuff like that.
I get that. I understand the point you're making, where it's like, well, they walked outside in the mist, and the other people got fucked when they walked outside.
Yeah,
in the mist.
I don't get it.
However, acid shooting spiders and that military guy.
Yeah.
Spiders busting out of his face, and then he falls off, and the spiders burst out of his back. That was.
It looks better in black and white. I know I'm repeating this, but it
as a kid, and even now, because I hate spiders, that was terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Even though the CGI is shit, it's just like
great.
Imagine like just a bunch of spiders crawling inside you, and you're still alive for it. Oh my god! Like, what the fuck? Norm's death scene, fucking awesome. It establishes character traits for Jim, where he's a coward. And it also establishes character traits for David. Now, even though I don't like David in the film, he's still kind of, he's a hero, and he's a little bit of a badass. I mean, the fact that he took out his own son. He took out his own. Look, the performance was my least favorite in the entire movie, but the fact that like he wants to help everybody, and he also has the balls to shoot his son, that's yeah, that's pretty ballsy.
Did you like the biker?
It was I liked how it was cool with the rope, or like they just dragged the rope. Even
Yeah,
honestly, you know what? They didn't even need to show his torso off, or his legs. I kind of liked it if they just like showed the rope where it's just blood.
bloody. Yeah.
But also like another small detail in that scene that if
Like
you
I said,
notice,
it's going for
dude,
that
the
cheesy
rope.
factorness though
Well,
with
because
it too.
it's Twilight Zone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's that total vibe. But what I love about that specific scene where the neighbors group walks out, dude, like you see the rope like fly up to the ceiling and it's like super super taut,
Yeah.
and it's like holy shit, like what the hell did that? And they slowly drag it in.
Oh,
And
you
there's
start to
blood
see
on
what
the
they did.
rope.
That there's like flying pterodactyl
Oh, yeah.
things as
Yeah.
well.
Well, no, it was the final monster. You know what it was? It was the
What?
monster that killed Ollie.
Oh, I think
The big that big
yeah,
like
that big
that's
kaiju thing.
well not the big walking one. The big like
I got confused of like which ones are which.
the one before they get into the car that kills Ollie. Rest in peace.
Okay.
That guy's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah.
That like it had like
Oh, it's
the
the
weird
mini kaiju.
yeah
Yeah, like the
the
praying mantis
the
looking
prime
thing.
that
Yeah.
I was thinking of prime mantis. I was trying to get
Yeah.
the name. Yeah, that thing that killed the biker guy.
You want to talk about more scenes? When the
bugs yes
Beetles invade.
when the bugs fly in.
That was pretty wicked
the
when the guy
intro-
got on fire.
Dude,
That was sick.
That
dude.
is this is what I'm saying, because the woman
Also, that was
that
big
scene-
cheese though.
Listen,
Guy was
that
flailing
scene,
around like
that
everywhere.
scene starts with the scene between Miss the
Happened in
delicious
Carrie
Zealot.
too. The guy that got caught on fire.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Actually, it did.
But go on.
But so that whole sequence starts with another religious thing and another religious lady quote, and then it just like the tension sort of builds because the more of them fly on the glass,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden the character Jim, he sees the pterodactyl looking fucker
Uh-huh.
flying and hitting the glass, and then you just realize, oh my god, like turn out the lights, and Jim's running around like we gotta turn on the lights, and then it busts through and all hell breaks loose. I love it when movies have scenes that are just so rewatchable like that. I love watching that scene. There's so much going on. There's so much like at first it was
Chaos.
at first it was just very like everyone's in, obviously all of them are in the same place. But in the beginning of that sequence, and I'm not saying scene because there's like different parts of it, but at the beginning of it, everyone was calm and they're looking at the glass windows. And then it just builds and builds until you have a guy on fire, a pterodactyl on fire. You have Ollie shooting them like a badass.
When he's drinking the beer, that was a
Yeah.
great moment too. He's like, "Fucking
Well-
write a list then."
But you know what though?
Yeah.
It's cool though because it's a subtle little thing. He's drinking the beer. No one believes them at first because they think that they're just drinking and getting drunk in the
Yeah.
docks.
Yeah, of course.
That's cool. I like it when there's little shit like that. Cause it's random too. Like you don't even see him. Like he just has a beer all of a sudden and he's like just downing it. And it's like, what the fuck? Like, but to be fair, after witnessing a giant hentai monster killing, your associate,
That's true. It
you
is
probably
hentai.
you'd probably pick up a beer and want to drink it. The actress that plays Miss Carmody, one of the most disgusting, vile fucking humans.
I remember hating her as a
can't
kid. That
stand
performance
her.
stands out specifically as a
Oh
good
my
one. I think
God.
she won some sort of award
She
for it.
should have, because oh
Um,
my god, dude, it's like Dolores Umbridge in Harry Potter. You hate her.
And when she dies, dude, you
Awesome.
fucking awesome.
Dude shoots him. Ollie, best character, shoots her in the stomach. It's slow mo's. It goes slow.
That's why he's the best
and it gets
fucking
fucking
character, man. That's why he's the
headshot.
best fucking character.
He is the best character. That and him, and honestly, I don't know if you'll agree, but I like the kid. I like the kid. Even though he doesn't have that much. I like the kid.
The kid's kind of annoying. I don't know. I didn't.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
He
I like the old
transforms.
woman. The old woman is my
Owen's
second
badass.
favorite.
Dude, she's like, and I have more peas. I have more cans of peas.
Yeah,
than Dollar
like bro, it's great, and she's one of the last ones to. I already brought it up, but what's your shelf rating?
I mean, top shelf. And it's clearly not glass
Yeah.
case, but I think this is like, I really, really love the humans fighting each other. I like that. I love that with movies, especially horror movies. Andrew's character says it. She's like, it's only 2 days, and already we've turned into animals.
I'm gonna give it a middle shelf. It doesn't quite get there for me, honestly. The tropey characters didn't completely work for me, and like
The ending.
shitty CG. I wasn't a fan of
Forget
that
the
spider.
CG.
I wasn't
Forget the CG.
wasn't a fan of the spider scene.
You're harping on the spider.
and the
scene so
lead,
much.
I don't like the lead, man. The lead is he's not good.
He's not good.
He's not good.
He's not good, but I like the character itself. I just don't like the actor.
I don't like the character either. He's
I like the
kind
character.
of I don't know. He's not. He's just
A
kind
guy
of
looking out for
bland
his
and,
son. Come on.
yeah. But like, if the performance is not good, then like a generic role like that doesn't really do it for me. You know what I mean? Because it's not like a great role. It's not a masterfully written role. He's just
Daniel
generic.
Radcliffe. Actually,
And it's
every single child actor in the first two Harry Potter movies, they're not
Wait,
good,
what?
but you love the characters.
Because they're good, well written. Like I
think this guy's
my,
well
my
written.
my point is the character is not well written, and the acting
Why?
just sucks.
Why is
'Cause
the
it's just
character
a
itself not
generic
written?
character. It's just a generic
They're all
character.
generic characters, though.
Yeah, but the performances like make the generic characters like pop. Like that woman, whoever that actress played, Miss
Carmody.
Carmody.
I remembered it. I had to
Whoever
take my
played
phone.
Miss Carmody, whoever
it.
the actress
She
killed
killed
it.
it.
And if that was bad, if that was a bad actress,
It
it would have
because she's the main.
no, it
villain.
wouldn't have worked. And
But,
I'm sorry,
but,
but
Ollie, though-
your the lead just did not work for me. He did not work, and if it's a big part of the movie, so that's why it's a middle shelf. And it's not all that. I just mentioned a bunch of other shit too. But other than that, it's a really effective horror movie. It's gory. It's kind of bonkers sometimes with the flaming guy running around and shit like that.
I want to
but,
change
yeah.
my number rating. I would give it an 8 out of 10, but I
Uh-huh.
still think it goes on top shelf just for the
Yeah.
fact that this is like one of the most depressing endings ever.
It's unforgettable. It's infamous.
It's infamous Second Son.
Well, you mentioned before how it's so fucking cold outside that the literal pipes are breaking in your building. No better time to talk about
The best horror
Stanley
movie.
Kubrick's The Shining than now, because it's fucking cold outside.
Yeah, the real feel
Yeah.
was -22 yesterday. So
Stephen King not a fan of it.
no,
Because it's nothing like the movie and nothing like the
nothing like
book.
the book.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say it's nothing like the book, but there are major differences. Like first off,
Yeah.
the maze.
Okay.
Maze. That's it in the book. It's a topi. I don't know how you pronounce it. Tertiary, topiary, whatever it's called. It's a bunch of hedge carvings. It's like a big like sphinx, I think it's called. They're like a big cat. I didn't finish. I know.
What?
I know. They
That's
like
weird.
move around.
Like supernatural shit?
Yes. The book is a lot more.
Whoa.
I haven't finished the book. I
All
should
right.
have finished the book for this
But
because I would
can
love
you-
to do a comparison with it.
We'll get into that later, but I guess general thoughts on The Shining.
You can't start out a Shining discussion with general thoughts.
You were about to say it's the best horror movie?
The single best horror movie of all time.
It's not mine.
Not even a question.
It's not mine.
What
and
is yours?
What is mine?
Yep. So I'm gonna shit all over it right now because The Shining's better.
Oh, come on. Don't be
I
that
don't even-
guy. Don't be
no,
that guy that
no.
like, oh, my horror movie's better than your horror movie.
There's a reason why not even horror fans know The Shining. It's because it's a fucking amazing.
Yeah, it is.
This
undeniable.
is
Undeniable.
I love.
Have you
horror-
seen other Kubrick movies though?
Yes. We should have done a Kubrick episode. We should have saved this
We
time for
can't
Kubrick
do the
episode.
Kubrick
But
because
we did.
he has
but
a
we
lot
saved
of
it for
movies,
Stephen
man.
King.
He has a
But
lot
we
of
saved
movies.
it for Stephen
Yeah.
King, and I like talking about it with Carrie and The Mist because the Carrie and The Mist are very different from The Shining,
Yeah.
although they are similar in some ways. Here's the thing. No matter what other horror movie you bring up, I love watching horror movies, and I especially love ones like Hereditary where they deeply unsettle me.
Yeah.
There is no movie that has caused me nightmares and has disturbed me as much as The Shining. And it's
Really?
not for the reasons that
Really?
people normally say. This movie and the book is really good with this.
Uh-huh.
Dude, the most disturbing part of this movie
Yeah.
is the family. It's the family dynamic. The best part about it, it's not even the breakdown of someone over the course of the movie. It is just the absolute you just from the very beginning, you know something is off. Even before you get to the hotel, you know that there is something wrong with this family.
Yeah.
You could feel it. Shelley Duvall, you know she's fucked up. You know that she's either being beaten or mentally fucking scarred. The kid, dude,
The way she
Danny-
smokes her cigarette.
she chain smokes her cigarette.
Yeah.
The child psychiatrist or doctor comes in and sees Danny, and she could already tell that something's up. She could tell something's up with this family dynamic. and then you have one of the best performances. I really do think it is one of the best performances in any movie is Jack Nicholson in this movie. I believe it. I love Jack Nicholson. Dude, A Few Good Men and The Departed and Batman.
Cuckoo's Nest.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I'm glad you brought up Batman.
which,
People
by the
forget.
way-
People fucking forget.
Which, by the way, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
We should do that because that. You want to talk about? You want to talk about books, movies that have really good books?
Yeah. I haven't
Ken
seen it since
Kesey's-
high school. I watched the movie in high
Ken
school.
Kesey's One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
Shout
Nest.
out Mr. D Moore.
Dude, you want to talk about? You want to talk about the movie with disturbing endings? You remember the ending
Yeah,
for Cuckoo's Nest?
I do. It's
Awful.
really, yeah. It's
Well,
very
also
different.
too, another movie with the fucking This is my favorite movie ending.
Can we start from the beginning then? Can we just go
Go from the
scene
beginning.
by scene?
Yes.
All right.
Boom,
Boom, Great, amazing opening title scene.
Iconic.
Of course. Replicated a lot, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about Cure for Wellness on the 6th episode. That kind of reminded
Underrated.
me, kind of reminded me of that.
Absolutely.
Um,
Dude, there are not only is there
like, you know how many
documentaries,
ominous,
there's
like,
documentaries made on this movie, but they go into shot by shot.
yeah,
of
room,
why
room
237.
yeah, not
literally-
not a great documentary. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, it's reaching, but like there's so much talk about the movie, and it's because
Yeah.
every single dude, I think
it
dude,
it
it's
goes a little
perfect-
overboard though.
no, the documentary, yeah.
No, the documentary and theories sometimes.
Ethan, this is a perfect movie. This to
Yeah.
me is a perfect movie. It is. I have seen this movie so many times.
What do you like about the opening? What do you like about the opening title?
It's fucking. It scares the shit out of me. This is. I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
I've probably seen this movie 20,
Yeah.
25 times. I've rewatched this movie just
I
as
love
much
the
as I've watched the
color
Harry
of it.
Potter movies.
I love the font.
Dude,
I love how it goes and it doesn't stop. You know, it's like, oh shit, I gotta read this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. What is it? Oh shit. I love
Dude,
this
there's
yellow
just-
car.
there's just- but even as a kid, so okay, this is one of my parents' favorite movies too.
Yeah.
You know what?
Oh wait,
this is
I
how we
forgot to
start.
mention. I
This is how
forgot.
we-
Wait. Let me mention how I first got exposed to
Yes.
this movie. So I was watching one of the Oscars at a I don't know, at a young age. Maybe I was 6 or 7, right? And they do a clip show usually during the Oscars, and they showed the two twins from The Shining in one of the clip shows. Dude,
Scarred you.
scarred me, bro. I didn't even want to know the movie it came from, and when I found out where the movie it came from, I was like, fuck. I don't know if I should watch this one. I don't know if I should watch this one. And
Ethan.
it took me a while until I watched this one. This was the last one I watched. I saw Carrie first. I saw The Mist first. Every time I looked down a dark corridor,
Fuck a dark corridor, a well lit corridor. That's the thing about this movie.
Yeah.
My interest in Native American history,
Yeah.
my interest in early 20th century history, my interest in movies.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones that really started it all. The
Hell
reason
yeah.
why I like horror movies is this movie,
Uh-huh.
and nothing has matched it in horror. Nothing. Got my hand in
Hold
this
hold
movie.
on why you love the movie so much until the end, okay?
How did I start watching this movie? My history with it.
Yes.
Anytime, so okay, I'm my parents, specifically my mom, she would be in the living room smoking her cigarettes, and she would be watching Sopranos, she'd be watching Lost, she would be watching movies like this, movies like It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life I was able to go in and watch.
Yeah.
But The Sopranos, The Shining, and like Mad Men, Boardwalk Empire, I wasn't allowed in. I wasn't allowed in to watch them. And I would stay in the kitchen in my house, and I could see the reflection of the movie, but like when you look in the reflection on like a cabinet, it was a glass cabinet,
Yeah.
china cabinet, and I would be looking at it and I could just hear what was going on. The Shining has like it's the most unsettling score ever in my opinion, and dude, I just remember like I could tell you like I'm standing in the kitchen and
I
could
can see
just-
why you love
I could just
Midsummer
hear-
so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could just hear like the when Scatman Crothers is in his apartment, which is that's the actor.
Yeah.
when Scatman Crothers, Dick Halloran is in his apartment, which we're gonna get into the Dick Halloran apartment. I know we already talked about it.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like whenever he actually has the Shining, whenever he has the connection with Danny, and that high pitched sound,
Yeah.
I could remember, dude, as a kid, I didn't know what was on the screen, but it scared the shit out of me. So I was
Your
visualizing.
brain can go anywhere.
I was like The Shining. I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Wait, the poster.
Dude, yeah,
Dude,
everything about
the
it.
face. What is that face? Like
I don't know.
it's crazy, man.
It's creepy.
It's really creepy.
And it's just so, oh my God.
It's one of my favorite
Dude,
posters of all
dude,
time. It's so
it's-
intriguing. It's really intriguing.
There's just so many little things about this movie that make it, to me, like the scariest horror movie.
Yeah.
I think it's the scariest movie. It's the scariest movie to me. As a kid, it scared me, and I didn't even have to watch it to scare me. But then when I was allowed to see it, I would be able to see certain scenes, and then like my mom would actually like tell me to leave the room. You can already guess some of the scenes that I had to leave for nudity, but I also was not allowed to see some of the gorier scenes. So like, and really early on in the movie, I would have to leave because people forget how early on it shows the twins and the blood elevator, all of those things that happens really early on in the film, and people forget about that.
Yeah.
But either way, even as a kid, I was obsessed with this movie because I couldn't watch it. Same with Borat. I was obsessed with The Sopranos. I was obsessed with them because my parents would make me either leave the room or I wasn't allowed in the room at all. And for The Sopranos, my dad would have to literally bring me upstairs. And I'm talking about like I was a kid, like I was like 5, 6 for The Sopranos because that's when it aired.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to leave because like The Sopranos was, it's The Sopranos. But then for this movie, like my parents were scared of it. And I remember when it came out, my mom graduated high school in 1980, and she said that she didn't want to watch it. Like she had to leave the theater.
Yeah.
Not even kidding. My aunt.
Do you know about the reception that when it first came out?
Yes.
It was like mixed.
Dude, people fucking thought that Jack Nicholson was awful.
I think Shelley Duvall got a Razzie.
She got a Razzie Award, yeah.
Like
Which unbelievable.
Yeah.
But dude, this is why, like, just in general, like people just have certain connection with certain movies. For you have a certain connection with Spider-Man 2. I love Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
but I have a certain connection with The Shining. And even as a kid, loved it. I don't even know how many times I've rewatched this movie. It is in my top 5 movies of all time. I could make a case for it being number 1, honestly.
Didn't you tell me you used to watch it every Halloween?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single night on Halloween, we would watch this movie, and we watched another movie called Carnival of Souls, which is a really Carnival of Souls is a
dude.
shitty ass movie, but we'd always watch it.
Listen, you never watched a David Lynch movie. That's
Carnival of
basically a
Souls.
David Lynch movie.
Then I don't want to watch David Lynch movies.
Hey, come on. It's not a great movie. I'll admit.
No, it's not.
Carnivals of Souls, but David Lynch movies are better than that. But like, it's very
You know
inspired.
what Carnival of Souls is.
It's in the Criterion Collection. How did you find out about Carnival of Souls? I'm curious.
My family watched
Really?
it. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We watched that, The Shining, and then on Thanksgiving we watched Miracle on 34th Street, and then on Christmas we had always watched It's a Wonderful Life.
I always watch Home Alone.
Oh, and then on Easter, we would usually throw on. This is a little random, but for Easter we would throw on A Christmas Story. I don't know why we did that.
Maybe the rabbit suit. That's probably why.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If you didn't already could tell by this podcast, my family we watched a lot of movies as kids. One of my other top 5 movies of all time is Raiders.
Yeah.
So, I had to leave the room for that ending too.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Oh,
dude,
absolutely.
I don't know. I my parents allowed me to watch that shit, and it kind of I love that shit.
Oh, I mean, I loved it as a kid. Even dude, Lego. I remember when we had the argument freshman year when you and Justin were like, "Oh, dude, Lego Star Wars is much better than." I fought back and I said Lego Indiana Jones was better. But
dude,
listen,
Lego Indiana. We're not gonna open that can of worms.
We're not talk about that.
But like my stance on it is Lego Star Wars is superior than
Lego
Indiana Jones.
Better.
He thinks his Lego Indiana Jones
is fucking
that's crazy.
Anyway,
crazy talk.
we're going back to The Shining. We already talked about the opening. We already talked about how we knew it as a kid. Obviously, you have your story of how you watched it after The Mist and after Carrie.
Yeah. I don't even remember the first time I watched it. I probably watched it in high school, honestly.
I don't remember when I first sat down and watched all of it, but I can tell you, I do know when I saw the bathtub scene for the first time. So I was just like, whoa,
When?
dude. I was like, I don't remember. I can't remember like how exactly old
Was
it
it like the
was.
first nudity scene you've seen in a
Yes.
movie?
Yep. Very first one.
You know what was mine?
What?
Titanic. Yours was much worse, I think.
Much scarring too.
Yeah.
Dude, oh my god. And just
Yeah.
like being in the kitchen because I had to leave at that scene.
Yeah.
Being in the kitchen and just hearing the old ladies laugh. Dude, you can't see it. You can't
Goosebumps.
see it
Yeah.
right now, Ethan. I have goosebumps right now thinking about it. I have fucking actual goosebumps thinking about that woman's laugh.
That's funny.
Oh my god, like I just had a fucking chill going down my spine.
I wish Noah was here because it's one of his top 5
Yes,
movies.
yeah, I
you
know.
It's
Dude,
unfortunate.
it's fucking awesome because
Yeah.
I wish Noah was here to talk about it.
The interview scene. That's the first scene, right? Correct?
Yes. Dude, and like I love how people went so in depth and they talked about how the set is impossible. The actual layout of the overlook is impossible.
The window shouldn't be there.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love how people overanalyze it. I love all that.
Realistically, it could be a mistake. Kubrick's
Or-
notorious, Stanley Kubrick, the director, is notorious for like
Or
being over, analyzes.
because there's so many theories about the film.
Uh-huh.
People say that the interview, people say that could have just been in Jack's head.
That's true.
And who knows? Because the whole thing could be in Jack's head.
Listen, practically, I just think it was a, continuity.
Yeah, it was a
mistake.
continuity error.
But it's fun to think. It's fun to think, and it's fun to analyze.
But the way that Jack Nicholson just plays it,
Yeah.
he's like this like overly confident, sly guy.
It doesn't give a shit that like people
And-
murdered.
Yeah.
Hey, people were
And
murdered
he's just
afterwards.
Like, he's like, oh, that's no worry to me. And then he says like,
Yeah.
well, the liquor cabinet is, we put away all the booze in the
Uh-huh.
off season. And he's like, well, that's not a problem.
I don't
I've been
drink.
dry for years now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh my god.
Dude, you already know something's up with this guy immediately.
It's just the way like everything just falls perfectly into place for not even the finale, but just for
Why is he reading the Playgirl?
just like everything. Yeah,
Why is
exactly.
he reading
exactly.
the Playgirl?
Like right before an interview, he's looking at the Playgirl
Yeah.
Playgirl magazine.
Oh, actually,
What?
that's
Playboy.
later on. That's later on.
Playboy.
That's later on. But like even then, it's still like weird. Like, why would he reading that? And then we go to see Shelley Duvall, and Danny. He's eating this pretty good sandwich.
Listen, man,
Whole wheat.
dude, there's some
Was
some
it whole
good
wheat
looking.
or was it white? I don't remember.
I think it was white.
Oh, it was white.
Dude,
Okay.
there's some good looking fucking food. The ice cream that he eats. You want ice cream, Doc?
She also looked like Mario, with that
Yes,
fit.
with the overalls,
Yeah.
dude. Meep.
Oh yeah, she
It's
was
just like-
Looney Tunes.
it's just
Oh,
like
it's
so
because
much-
it was a Warner Brothers movie. So,
Just another before we even go even further into like the actual like
Vision.
scenes and stuff and the
Yeah.
visions. Another part of the movie that really disturbed. Okay, just in general, I'm not a big fan of empty spaces.
Yeah.
And I understand like it sounds weird, but like let me explain really quick. Being in like either a building or an open field where there's just nothing. It doesn't even have to be dark. I'm getting goosebumps again talking about this.
Nothing about it.
There's just nothing in it, and then your mind starts to think, "Oh shit! Well, what could be in it?"
Yeah.
The sound of the tracking shots and the sound.
I want to
of the
mention
tricycle.
It was one of the first movies to use like a steady cam. So it's like
Really?
very innovative at the time, and like
Well,
you're right about
Stanley Kubrick
that
killed it.
fucking big wheel when it goes into the rug and the hard floor.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
It's just so like it doesn't even have to be something shown on screen. Like it doesn't even have to be the elevator of blood. It doesn't have to be the twins. It doesn't have to be the butler
Or
at the
the
end.
how about the tennis ball thing?
It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be any of that. It doesn't have to be the close up on room 237.
Yeah.
You could take all of that away, and it's just the fact that it's this psychotic, clearly disturbed people stuck in a gigantic not abandoned,
Yeah.
but like a gigantic hotel.
There's also other things
something-
about the movie too, like when Danny, what's his name? I forget his.
Who?
What's his? What does he call?
Oh,
his,
Tony.
Tony, which is actually another way of calling his shining, his superpower, which Carrie also has, and she also mentions that other people has it in that movie.
Yep. Shared
So
universe.
yeah, shared universe thing.
It's just
And I love how right off the bat it doesn't even like address it. It's just he has
he
this
has it.
psychic power,
Yep.
and like you're right in right into it. You
It
see the
makes
blood.
Stanley Kubrick needs, like, he put a lot of faith in the audience
Yeah,
to try and figure it out themselves. He
Mhm.
left it open ended, which is perfect.
He left it open
it's
ended, but you will get to the scene. But like, there's a scene that literally explains it.
It was perfect down to the last
Last
minute detail.
detail.
That's how I feel about this movie, man. I don't even care that I'm standing it. I don't
Dude,
care.
no, I love it, man. I love
I
the love for
this
the movie.
I fucking love this movie, man. Blood elevator, the
Yeah.
twins, the butler,
Yeah.
the bartender.
But Danny passes out though. The doctor comes in, and then we get that really chilling one take. Well, mostly one take, but like you hold on Shelley Duvall a lot.
Really long. You can
do.
tell that Wendy is withholding information, and you can tell that that her and Danny are still not over it. They're
Yeah.
not over what happened. Even from the beginning, even with those scenes, like they're not the scenes that many people remember from this movie,
Mhm.
but if you rewatch The Shining enough times, you can, like, Kubrick just puts the seeds, he plants them, and then you could just see like how they pay off, and like
Yeah.
and how, like, even, and not even like paying off in the film. You put some thought into it after you finish watching it.
I'm
and
so
you
glad
start
you
to
see what
think.
the movie actually is. Though.
Yeah,
Like I'm
and
like
you
a
start,
lot of
dude,
people think it's like, oh, spooky, scary, and it's like
no, you could thank Doctor Strange for that. But
Yeah.
dude, you could take away all the you can take away The Shining. You could take away the ability itself, which is what the fucking movie's named after.
yeah.
It is just, to me, it is, and it's changed as I've gotten older. Like, because as a kid, obviously I thought the fucking blood elevator was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
But like now I look at it, I look
I
at
never
that
thought it
elevator.
was terrifying. Not to sound
No,
like
as a kid I did. And especially the twins.
the
But
twins got me.
dude,
Oh yeah.
just like you can look at it as alcohol. You could just see it as like flooding your mind with alcohol, and it completely changes you, right?
That's
I
I'm pretty sure that's what like Stephen King was doing a
Because
lot
Stephen
of
King was an
drinking,
alcoholic.
you know, when he was writing it. Yeah.
So that they're driving up, and he's telling the story, and like Danny's just like he's peeking up through the back seat, and like they're all like optimistic about it, but you could even tell though, like if you just look at Shelley Duvall's character, you could tell that she's just like, oh my god, I'm gonna be stuck.
Yeah, I'm fucked.
I'm gonna be stuck
Yeah.
doing this for months with a man that I don't love.
So we get there, we get the tour.
We get there, we get the tour, and Dick Halloran is one of my favorite parts of this entire movie. He is extremely unsettling just by itself.
Doc
You like-
want some ice cream?
You like ice cream, Doc?
Dots. another Looney Tunes thing, man.
Yeah. It takes place on, trope Indian burial ground.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm not even kidding when I say this, but like I'm really into Native American history.
Yeah.
This movie, and also too, shout out to Six Flags Great Adventure, the Big Teepee. It made me
Yo,
interested.
R.I.P.
Rest
The
in peace,
big
teepee.
teepee by the log flume and Runaway Mine Train.
Yeah, dude. I just like this movie. Just, it made me interested in learning about Native Americans, and it's not a big part of the movie. It's really not. But
Yeah.
he mentions it,
It's in the background,
and like,
yeah.
and you could just see it in like all the architecture and stuff, and it's just like, ooh, like it's just really cool. And it
Yeah.
talks about how presidents have stayed there, and it talks about the history of the hotel and the people that are in it, and it's just like, the hotel is a character. Let's just get this out of the way. The hotel is a character.
Yeah.
Now, here's the best part of it. You
Uh-huh.
can take it as, well, the hotel could just be Jack's mind, which is perfectly
True.
fine.
Yeah.
And you could see like everything, like, because there's so many theories about it. I have my own big theory about this movie. And it's not really a theory because it is alcohol. It all has to do with alcohol.
Yeah.
There's just like a bunch of layers to this movie, and the more times that you watch it, it's so rewatchable. And there's another aspect that you could just add on top, another thing you could analyze, and it just makes it like so enjoyable. It really is. Every time I watch it, there's no dull scene. It doesn't drag.
Onion.
This move,
I'm just saying.
ogres are like onions.
Yes. I mean, I didn't even mention
Puss in
Shrek. I just
Puss
said
in-
it was onion.
Yes. Puss in Boots. I need to watch the new Puss in Boots. The girl showing up in the game room.
Oh yeah, and but like when he explains The Shining to
Yes.
yeah.
Well, my grandmother explained it.
You
It's
want to know
kind
how
of
many
like
takes
it's
that
kind of
took?
yes. It
It
took
was
it
like
took a sh-
100 something
took a
takes.
shit ton of takes.
Yeah.
And Scatman Crothers and what's his name? George. What the fuck is his name?
The kid?
Yeah.
Oh,
What was it?
uh,
Not George. What
we'll
the
put
fuck
it
is his name?
here.
But anyway, so yeah, but it took a shit ton of tries just to get it exactly the way that Stanley Kubrick wanted it.
The ice cream looked good though.
It did look good. That's why I
Yeah.
talk about the fucking food in this movie, dude.
Yeah.
If I was stuck in a gigantic, food locker, meat
But
locker,
Shelley Duvall made for Jack looked pretty good. The eggs and
Yeah.
spam it
the
looked
breakfast,
like or something like
the
that.
breakfast,
Or a ham or something.
I think it was spam.
Mm.
Just like imagine like all that fucking food you could eat. Like there's just a bunch of shit there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the overhead shot where it's him overlooking the maze,
Yeah.
and then it's overhead of the maze, and they're walking through the maze.
So trippy.
It's disorienting. The
Yeah.
whole thing is disorienting.
Well,
because
speaking of
it fucks with
disorienting,
time.
I'm gonna lose track of when things happen. Honestly, like when certain scenes happen. So
Okay,
just free
fine.
reign. Let's just start the second act, the whole thing. Let's just.
I want to stick it to the sound. That's one of my main things of this movie.
Hey, the sound is great, man.
We already talked about going onto the hardwood, the trike going onto the hardwood and then the carpet, but also too, the tennis ball. Jack throwing the tennis ball, and then the like at the very end, he just launches it down the hallway, and it echoes, and you just realize you're like, oh my god, like they're in a massive hotel, and there's no one. There's
Yeah.
no one there besides the three of them. I don't think this movie shows when he turns. I think he already turned even before the
He's
first
just like
scene.
a terrible. Yeah, he's just like
he's
once
already-
once
he's already
everyone's
psychotic.
once everyone's alone.
It's just when he's alone,
Yeah.
and also too because Doctor Strange, Jack himself could access the Shining. He just repressed it because remember the Shining. Everyone
Wait, Doctor, what are you talking about, Doctor Strange?
remember at the end of Doctor Strange when Jack comes back as he comes back.
Doctor Sleep? You've been saying Doctor Strange this whole time. Wait, you seen Doctor Sleep?
No,
You haven't?
but I know.
Have you read the book?
I know.
Oh, you
but
know?
I know.
Watch the movie. It's good. But by the way,
Rose the Hat.
yeah.
My bad for saying Doctor Strange. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad. So Doctor Sleep, Jack comes back in the end, and they couldn't get Jack Nicholson to do it, understandably so. But you realize that people choose to repress the Shining, the actual ability. Some people can tap into it, some people can't, but a lot of people repress
Oh, you think
it.
he had The Shining?
Yes.
Yeah. I think the
Yes.
alcohol enabled it.
I think alcohol enabled it, but you know what else I think?
Yeah.
It specifically talks about some places hold residual energy, which I
Oh
think
yeah,
is
the
true.
place enabled it too.
The place enabled it, the history enabled it, and dark energy can linger. We're getting into more of the supernatural side of it.
Where does Shelley Duvall play into this? Does she see shit? Because she does.
I think
see
she
like
she sees it towards the end,
yeah.
but that's because, well, I mean, no one knows for sure because it's
Yeah.
open ended. But I think that's just because the hotel starts to show it,
Right.
And I think that it's revealing all of its stuff to Jack or not to Jack to Wendy and Danny, but Jack, I think Jack has the ability to shine, but the hotel is what brought out the bad influences
Yeah.
when he shines.
Do you think the room specifically too?
Room 237?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I
Wha-
mean,
what
another,
is the
another theory is that like room 2, instead of the hotel, the whole
Yeah.
hotel being in Jack's mind, people think that the room 237 is specifically Jack's mind. Because think about it.
Oh.
It's a very common thing, alcohol in women is a common vices for men,
Uh huh.
but it manifests in that room. And like by Dick Halloran saying to Danny, whatever you do, don't go into room 237. I
Yeah.
feel like he's kind of like, it's maybe Stephen King's or Stanley Kubrick's way of saying he's still a kid. Don't let him get manipulated by alcohol, by women, by all this stuff. It's those little things like that, which it probably isn't that, but the fact that we can sit here and talk about it and make
Yeah.
it seem like that is just another reason why this movie is so fucking good.
You want to bring up the moon landing theory?
Yeah, go ahead. Stanley Kubrick
Stanley
helped fake the
Kubrick-
moon landing.
You know, legendary filmmaker, also made 2001: A Space Odyssey. Groundbreaking science fiction movie. Some are convinced that he directed the moon landing because he's so good at directing. And, if you're a moon landing denier, I guess that's like, a good fit, fits the bill. Danny's wearing an Apollo 11 shirt, which, if you don't know, is the same mission of the first moon landing. People are saying, "Oh, maybe Kubrick is showing off thing."
There's a lot of in Room 237, the documentary, it talks a lot about the patterns on like the floor.
Yeah.
And like,
oh wait, Toy Story.
Yeah. Same pattern.
That has the same patterns. That's a cool reference.
But it's just like there's just I don't buy that.
I don't buy it for a second.
But also too, it's just like that is taking it a little too crazy, and that's what Room 237 is about. It's where like people get so overboard with this movie. But it tells you the power and like the it really captures people's imagination and it just lets people run with it.
It's captivating.
That is the best part about it. A film is just supposed to be, it's a director's vision of what they want people to see. But the beauty of any art is that you could look at something, you could hear something, but it's really up to the listener or the viewer.
Is it good as an adaptation? Does it have the spirit of it?
I think it's one of the absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But Stephen King doesn't like it because Stephen King, to be fair, a lot of his adaptations are awful. I already mentioned before of how the lady laughing gives me goosebumps. I just got goosebumps again. But dude, it's just like the slow heartbeat, the build up, the opening the door a crack, and then when you open it up, there's nothing. It's just it's just a room. There's nothing bad to it. Nothing's going on, and then you just slowly walking up into the bathtub or into the bathroom, and you see the lady taking a shower in the bathtub, and it's just like it's that slow build up. And you already know that Room 237 is bad. You know that it brings in bad energy, but you don't know what it is. And then like it just slowly unravels and it's like, oh, it's so creepy. And then like it's this old woman who's dead and has rotting skin.
I love the shot, like it's like a POV shot of her coming out of the water.
Yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird. It is weird, yeah, because it's like her like
it's
in
like
the tub.
She's not quite rotted, and it's like I think it's someone else actually.
Yes,
it's a man, right? It might be a man because I don't remember.
Man,
I don't know. It's someone different though. It's not the old woman
in the POV shot.
In the water, there's someone else. It's weird.
Yeah. Probably the most memorable scene for a lot of people is the twins. That whole scene.
Oh, of course. It's the ending to the panning shot, actually. The reveal is great. It's terrifying. By the time I saw it as, in the movie and in context, I wasn't
Come play with us.
Yeah, I wasn't too scared of it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I saw it so many times. It's
just
creepy.
the piano. It's like those
creepy.
piano hits.
It's kind of like...
It's just disturbing.
What can I say about it? It's like talking about what can I say about the Mona Lisa? Like it's like it's just so.
How does it make you feel?
It's so iconic. It's scary. I mean, it scared me as a kid, and now it's too iconic to be even scary to me.
When you've seen it on a time.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary as shit. I mean, come on. It's like one of the scariest scenes like probably ever. And even though like it's iconic and like it's memed about. And like Family Guy,
Simpsons.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a good horror scene, man. Like there's no other way to say it. What other scenes or just moments in a horror film are as iconic as the hallway twins? I don't even think there is one. Maybe
Carrie, the Carrie prom scene is up there.
Carrie prom scene's up there.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. Maybe like Michael Myers, just like
I can't think of anything specific from Halloween. You know what I mean? No, there's like a specific shot.
Say, maybe not as disturbing, but I'm talking about just like iconic, like the.
Yeah, I'm talking about iconic. Oh, Texas Chainsaw. The ending is probably for me.
That's up there.
For me, is
more
like
more iconic than the twins.
I'm biased. I love Texas Chainsaw
More than The Shining. Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Texas. If you okay, we were talking about our favorite horror movies of all time.
Texas Chainsaw's yours.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is my
You're
favorite
probably more
horror
of a-
movie
you're
of
more
all
like
time.
a grindhouse type of guy, anyway.
It
so.
is. If you want me to talk about that, like you're talking about The Shining, that's my movie.
Did you cover
know?
it yet?
No, we haven't covered
Oh,
it
yeah.
yet. When Danny goes up to the room and Jack is still there.
Puts him on his lap, and it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, oh my God, it's just all these scenes with the family. They're just so creepy, so creepy. But I don't think it's the creepiest scene in the movie. Probably my favorite movie scene.
The bar conversation.
The entire the conversation with Lloyd at the bar and the bathroom. I'm a history guy. I love talking about history. I like seeing, renditions of it. I love it. One of my favorite periods to study is the late 19th century, very early 20th century. The 1910s and the 1920s.
Is that why you like Babylon so much? Was it a factor?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it's not even like the actual like the making the movie that's my favorite part. It's just seeing like that period. I love
the period too.
The early 1900s and the late 1800s are my favorite period.
There will be blood.
Come on, Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2.
Yes.
But anyway, so I can go on way longer for that. Dances with Wolves. The Civil War, 1860s to like 1945.
Yeah.
That's my period history. That is what I study. It's what I want to go into. Everything about this, the build up, it's the dialogue is perfect.
The music,
the music is perfect. Yeah, the most unsettling part is the music. That's why the ending is the best ending I think in a horror movie. But yeah, so you have him sit going up to the bar, and like the way that like Lloyd's face is lit up, and it's just like, oh, he just goes. Jack goes in. It's just like you know that he's not actually drinking, but his entire demeanor changing after he takes his first sip. One sip. He could even be imagining it. He probably is imagining it.
That shot is kind of iconic too. When he laughs.
But dude,
I love how it's lit. It's lit
just
from
what about
under him.
from the bottom, yes.
Yeah.
But like, just what about like when he's just sitting there, and like he actually has the drink or he has a sip, then he lowers the glass, and like he just has this look of just a complete monster on his face. Like he's like he looks like a fucking gremlin. Like after his first sip, and like you realize like, oh my God, that this is when he feels the most normal, is when he has alcohol.
Shit has hit the fan.
Yes. It's when
it's the start of the third act.
Yeah.
You know?
And
well, you have a little bit of like the conversation. I think you know what? No. I'll see what's the real turning point. Not when he first drinks. Do you have anything else to say about the alcohol scene before we get into the bathroom?
One last like small thing. Whoever plays Lloyd, whoever plays him,
great.
One of the most unsettling minor side characters in a film. I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
No, he's great.
He is extremely creepy. He just has that deadpan look, and it's just like, like he doesn't even seem like a real person. Like you could tell, like he's just a spirit that doesn't have emotion. He just has that look, and he's staring at Jack with that like little smirk.
Yeah.
And like, you can just tell like it's like a demon. It's like a demon, the devil. Alcohol is
the devil.
It's the devil.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's just like so many things tied with alcohol to this movie, because Stephen King wrote it when he was a drunk, and I like it. Just I don't know, the whole lead in and the atmosphere, the music, and the music stops, and then it forces you to focus in on the dialogue, and then like there's nothing particularly like riveting going on. There's no action. There's none of that. But it's just, to me, it's just like like my heart just starts beating when watching that scene, because like you just realize, oh no, like he's gonna become drunk, and he's gonna start fucking shit up, and then he goes like Lloyd attends to other people or other ghosts, and Jack gets some shit spilled on his jacket conveniently, and he goes into the bathroom. Dude, you want to talk about like back to back top 5 horror scenes, probably even scenes. Dialogue scenes in general, but you just
if you've ever been to film school, this is usually like one of the examples that like a film professor will use of, it's breaking the 180 rule, the switch, when the realization when
the power dynamic has shifted. there's no other word for it. It's not terrifying.
Yeah.
It's not disturbing. It's haunting. It is
Chilling.
the shots where you just have Jack staring off into the side. He's staring at Delbert Grady, but like
Yeah.
because Delbert Grady's not really there, he's just staring at nothing and he's imagining this conversation. And then like you have this absolute disgusting human being in the butler who is a racist and who's misogynistic and who is a horrible, horrible father, and he is just corrupting. He's corrupting Jack. You feel like you're in a hell. You feel like you have just been brought down into hell as soon as Jack takes a sip of alcohol, and this is the devil. The bartender is like a demon who is being like, manipulated by Delbert Grady, who is like the real devil, and he's just you see it when the camera switches. You in the dialogue, and it slows down, but even though the dialogue slows down and you have like these really awkward shots where it's just like Jack staring, and it's just like you just see him like being corrupted, like being like filled with just darkness.
That's what I was talking about. That's when I feel like that's when it goes south for him,
I just mean it as like he takes a sip of alcohol, and there's that shot where he's looking down the glass
and he looks back up,
and he looks back up, and you could like you see it in Jack Nicholson's eyes. You see it in his eyes. His entire demeanor changed. Everything about him has changed.
I do agree, though. Public bathrooms are sometimes hell.
They are sometimes. Dude, the downstairs Montclair Fenwick first floor bathroom,
bro.
Holy shit, that place he's probably seen worse than The Shining. Honestly,
when I was walking in transit, I didn't know there was a public bathroom in the transit parking lot.
I know.
Dude, that must be disgusting as fuck.
Holy fuck!
I can't even imagine taking a
There's
shit
hella
in
rats
there.
in there.
Yeah, Inkwell bathroom.
Oh, that's a good one, dude.
Rip Inkwell. Rip
Inkwell.
Inkwell. This is the first time we brought it on the podcast. Rip Inkwell.
I was thinking about Inkwell.
Moment of silence. But shout out their bathroom.
The bathroom at the meat locker. You haven't been there yet?
What,
oh
no,
my god!
Really?
Oh,
what meat locker?
The meat locker, the bar, or
really?
Bar, but like the concert place that Colton played at when we saw him.
Yeah.
Montclair. Shout out to the meat locker.
Yeah.
Yeah. This bathroom is spotless, but yet at the same time,
Mm-hmm.
it's hell.
Liminal space. Definitely
Liminal
a background.
space. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It creeps me, dude. I have goosebumps again.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it, and it's just like this empty space, and like your mind fills it in, and like the scariest thing about this movie is like the power of the human mind. What people will. This is what we talked about with The Mist. This is what Carrie is about. It's about really some of the scariest things are just what you can do and what you can imagine, and that is the entire movie of The Shining is just like the level of darkness that people will have in them. And unfortunately, things like alcohol or repressing an ability like The Shining in certain places, it just brings it out. That is why this movie is like disturbing to me, because it's just you have all those things stacked on top of each other. Add in the supernatural stuff, add in the really amazing soundtrack, add in all the really fucking creepy long shots. You just have the perfect horror movie. But we're not done talking about it because we still got a lot more to talk about. Anyway, the bar scene and the bathroom scene, there's so many good scenes in this movie, but those two have always stood out to me. And even as a kid, like,
in my opinion, they're the best scenes in the movie.
The best scenes, yeah, I absolutely.
He grabs the axe, right? That's when he grabs the axe.
That's when he, yeah,
to correct the family, correct Danny.
Them.
Meanwhile, Danny is Red Rum.
Yeah, and then you have that going on as well,
Wants
which
to
is
do a little
also even though
illustration.
those scenes are not the most iconic scenes in the movie.
It is, honestly. Red Rum is pretty.
No, I'm talking about the bar and the bathroom.
Oh.
So the two scenes that the general public will always remember is the
Here's Johnny
and the
twins.
the hallway twins.
But the blood is also iconic.
Blood elevator, yeah.
Red Rum is also
Red
iconic,
Rum.
like
Red Rum
we just
in the
brought
mirror.
up. Yeah.
And it's just like honestly, it's not even like just seeing like murder in the mirror that's terrifying. It's the sound. It's the sound that's the most terrifying.
Yeah.
It's just like that rattle, and it's just like, because a lot of this movie, if you notice, a lot of this movie is just either it's silent or it's a very atmospheric sounds, right? And then like when the moments hit, just like Carrie, like use the psycho sound. when the moments that it does use its sound, it kills it. Literally kills it.
Yeah.
Because after the murder scene, and well, a little bit after the murder scene, but you get to one of my favorite jump scares of all time. Oh my fucking God. We didn't even mention Dick Halloran's apartment.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Well, although this movie was made in the 80s, this apartment is very 1970s.
Baby.
Big black naked chick painted
Hell yeah.
huge afro.
You already know.
And the furniture is fucking nice too.
You already know.
Very Miami. He's in Miami. He's in Florida.
Yes, he's in Florida. But you can just tell, dude, that guy smokes some good ass weed in that room. You already know.
You think he gets pussy up there?
100%. Dick Halloran's a player, and you know it.
That's
when he's
something,
in Danny's
man.
mind.
Yeah.
When he's reaching into Danny's mind, and
Danny's face too when he's drooling. It's very.
When he literally sees what Danny is seeing.
Yeah.
The woman in the bathtub. It's just great. I have
It's
no
amazing.
other adjectives to describe it. It's just iconic, great, masterful. Like I know I sound like a fucking really big stan here. Anyway, so another point I want to bring up besides like Dick Halloran's apartment is
the process. His whole thing is really suspenseful.
Yeah.
You know?
It just shows like him landing in Denver, and he's you could tell he's worried. Like he knows he already knows that Jack has turned against his family. And Dick Halloran it's like a race against time. He's like, I have to get there before he kills him. And he knows he's gonna kill him because Dick Halloran's seen this before with Delbert Grady. But man, the scene where he pulls up to the hotel and Jack hears, we have the here's Johnny scene.
Well, we'll go back to that.
We can go back to that, right? But like, Dick Halloran arrives, and you hear off in the distance, you hear the snowmobile pull up or whatever it's called. You hear it pull up, and he walks into the hotel, and he could see around him that something's up. He doesn't even see a person yet, but Dick Halloran knows that something awful has already happened. And you just hear like the wind flowing through the empty halls and the snow on the ground and the crunch of it. Then he gets past the snow and he's just walking really, really slow. And you hear like, you just don't hear anything besides the wind. And he's looking around and his footsteps. And then as a kid, you get a scene like you just get, I've had so many nightmares of getting an axe in my chest from this one scene.
The scream is so good too.
The scream is a little memey.
No, but it's good though.
It's blood curdling as you deserves to be called. It is blood curdling.
I love how it just pulls a rug under you because you think he's gonna save him.
Yes.
The whole you spend so much time. He calls up a guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna be up there, so you better get a snowmobile." It's like no. If you're gonna spend so much time, of course he's gonna save the day, and he kind of does. He kind of does by bringing the snowmobile up in the first.
Yeah, he gives it away. Away. But well, you can't.
In the
30 inches of snow.
All right.
But
do you know in the book what happens to him?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say it because I know it's.
You know what happens in the book?
I know it's different.
Well, so. I know the ending to the book.
No, but I know what happens to him is different in the book than it is in the movie.
You can just say it.
He does survive.
He survives.
He survives. This is different in the book. In the movie, he dies.
I
think
I like him dying.
Yeah.
I think him dying a lot more.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't even know how many nightmares I've had of being axed in the chest by a crazy guy.
Is it the only kill in the movie?
No, there's one more.
Oh, Jack. Okay. But only killed by another person.
Like murder.
Yeah, murder.
It's just back to back to back.
It's pretty bloody
scenes.
too. Yeah,
it's really bloody.
Yeah.
But even I know what I keep bringing up. Have you noticed how I keep bringing up sound right after it does the big scary rattle? That's the first time in the movie where you start to hear the chorus, like the spirit chorus in the background, and you only hear it in the third act of the movie because that's when Jack finally lets all the spirits of the hotel flood his
Yeah.
head, and it
You want to talk
corrupts
about
him.
some of the spirits?
Sure, let's talk about some of the spirits. already
The
talked about
dog
two.
that's given the blowjob. Who gives the better blowjob? That girl.
Dude,
Who, what
easily
girl?
that dog. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, but she's talking
The
during it.
dog
That's
blowing the
that's very
president.
the way how clear she's saying I hate Carrie White is pretty impressive. The butler didn't look impressed, but
President
like think
Florida.
about it. John Travolta killed a pig for that blowjob.
A man in a dog costume, fellatio.
It feels
No
like
way.
something you would see in like the Magical Mystery Tour for the Beatles or something.
Yeah, because
It's very weird.
I guess maybe my only thing that I could possibly nitpick about this movie is like, I guess like showing like all the skeletons in the lobby.
Oh, you thought that
Sure.
was yeah,
I guess that's like the
very
most.
spooky skeleton.
That's the most like
haunted housey
okay,
thing.
like yeah, like the lights go out, and you know what that reminds me of? It reminds
Yeah.
me of the haunted episode in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. Anyway,
You know what? The family should have brought a dog. That would have really helped out. If a dog was there, and maybe it'll turn into Cujo. Who knows? That's another
backstory.
Stephen King movie.
Honestly, like you could throw a dog in here and like you could like play around with it, but then like, what if like Jack like strangles it like half the movie?
I don't want that to happen. I don't want to see the dog die just because.
I mean, obviously you don't.
I hope it would be like a Friday the 13th Part 4 situation, where Gordon, shout out Gordon,
dude, one of the oh my god, fucking cute ass dog.
yeah,
Oh,
where Gordon jumps out and survives.
awesome.
One of
slow-mo
the
shot.
only
awesome slow-mo.
dogs to ever survive a horror movie.
But anyway,
Shelley Duvall knocks him out. We forgot the knockout scene with the bat.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna bash.
that looked
your
like it hurt,
brains.
man.
I'm gonna bash him right the.
That was a good
fuck
stunt,
in.
man. That was a really good stunt. He fucking fell down
Wendy.
those stairs.
Wendy, give me the bat. Like it's oh.
Yeah, haunting. He's writing
It's
the
also
same
just
thing
in-
too, man.
Also just in one shot.
I wouldn't want to read his novel. Seems repetitive.
But yeah, no.
And then he
all-
locks him up in the pantry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have another conversation with Delbert Grady, and the door magically unlocks. So that makes you think, well, wait a minute, was he ever locked in the first place?
He definitely was because Shelley Duvall consciously put him
You
in
don't,
there.
But you don't know anything about this. You don't know what the fuck happens in this movie. You just don't. You don't.
No, but if we're seeing it from Shelley Duvall's perspective,
That doesn't matter.
she's a reliable narrator. I'm assuming it
No one is reliable narrating this movie. No one is. That's the point.
definitively like he was in that locker room. He knocked him out because, like, you know what I mean? Like, there was no way that he wasn't in that locker room at that time.
They did a really. I gotta say this about Doctor Sleep.
It wasn't like a vision. It wasn't like a vision because,
They
you
did a
know?
good job of recasting everyone. Of recasting.
Yeah,
of recasting
especially,
Wendy and recasting Jack.
Whoever played Wendy was really good.
Yeah. So
Here's Johnny.
I feel like this is the one scene where like there's nothing else I can add, dude. Like, come on, man. I was gonna say another moment like right after the Here's Johnny. Well, it's still part of the same scene.
Yeah.
But when Danny always even as a kid, I was like, that must have been so fun to slide down that massive, massive snowdrift.
How did that happen?
There's so the front of the hotel, in the very beginning, it doesn't show. There's no room in the back for the hedge maze. There's no room in the back. It shows a shot of the hotel, but there's no space for the massive hedge
exterior?
maze. Yeah, the exterior.
I think they used two different buildings.
They did.
I think,
They did
right?
use two different
Yeah.
buildings, and obviously, they used a set. But I don't know. For some reason, like I kind of like how it doesn't make sense. It kind of adds to its like, well, is it even real in the first place? And like, yeah, Doctor Sleep, like you know it's real because they go spoiler for Doctor Sleep that the whole third act takes place in the hotel, and
I hated that.
and they
ruined
burned
the
down
movie for that.
and
for
they
me.
burned down the hotel, which is the original ending in the book. Is that they burned down the hotel?
Oh.
The Shining.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes. I like this ending more because it's more open ended, and look, the chase through the maze, I used to like it a lot more as a kid. It's not that I don't like it, because obviously I do, but I don't know. I kind of it's a little like Wendy's running through the hotel and she's seeing all the spirits for the first time. and these are things that Danny and Jack have been seeing the whole time.
Yeah.
They've been seeing the skeletons in the lobby. They've been seeing the twins. They've been seeing the butler getting a blowjob. The elevator of blood. The way that I think of it, right, is that after Jack has his first sip of alcohol and after he gets corrupted by Delbert Grady, which is supposed to be the devil himself, I feel like he drains the last sanity out of Jack, and like that like gives it enough energy to like manifest itself to other people who have completely shut themselves off, willingly or not, from The Shining. You know what I mean? And so by the end of the movie,
So you think that everyone has The Shining?
yeah, it's just either external factors that are either
I don't
forced or
I don't think that's true. I think only certain people only have The Shining.
okay, but even forget
Yeah.
canon. There's just a theory about it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Jack gets Jack gets his sanity drained
Yeah.
from Delbert Grady, and that gives him enough like power to be able to like open up anyone who's at the hotel at the time who can open up their shining ability.
Yeah.
Like when Dick, I like to imagine that when Dick Halloran walks into the hotel, like when he's rolling up to it,
Yeah.
I like to imagine myself that at that time he's having like so many flashes in his mind of like all the horrible shit that has manifested itself in the hotel, but he can't see Jack himself because Jack is he's become a part of it. Like he has just literally become a part of the hotel. That's the ending.
Uh-huh.
But like he gets sucked into it, right? And I don't know. I keep bringing up like you take the first sip of alcohol, but this movie and specifically the song Hotel California,
Eagles, right?
Eagles, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh. There's a lot of theories about what that song means. Drug addiction, alcoholism, all that stuff. An actual like mental hospital. Check out anytime you like, but you'll never leave. It's literally like The Shining, right?
Right.
Like Wendy and Danny, they leave, but like doctors, like it is in Doctor Sleep, a part of him is always stuck at that hotel, and he has to go back and burn it down to get rid of it and himself with it. Most, if not all, of the scenes in this movie, there's some smaller ones that we don't need to mention, but I mean, the ending chase scene. Do you have any like specific thoughts about the ending chase scene into the maze?
It's chilling. I mean, and like
Bing
Danny's
chilling?
kind of a smart kid.
Is it Bing chilling?
I'm sorry, it's late. It took me a while to understand what you just said, but shout out John Cena, man.
Me and Justin were talking about Bing chilling earlier today.
He would play a great Jack Torrance, wouldn't you think? Here's a
This is
question.
the first time something of substance came out of your mouth.
Here's a question for you. Who would play a good Jack Torrance today?
I don't know if you'd agree.
Okay.
For some reason, Paul Dano.
How did I know you were gonna fucking go there?
I don't know why.
I knew you were gonna fucking go there.
He's just naturally unsettling.
David Harbour.
That's a fucking fantastic choice.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't finished Stranger Things, fuck Stranger Things season 2.
Come on, man. Stop.
I don't like it.
Stop.
I don't like the Demogorgon.
Come on.
I don't care about. I don't
The
care about
Demodogs hit.
The
Demodogs
Demogorgon
hit.
Dog, whatever. Dude, David Harbour would be a good choice. But for some reason, like if Paul Dano was just like, I don't know, if he had a
David
beard,
Harbour, Mia Goth, and
Mia Goth would be the perfect Wendy.
and I don't know who was a popular. I don't know. I would say Jacob Tremblay, but he's too old now. But
Maybe
that could
dude,
good
Haley
shout
Joel
out.
Osment, but like Sixth Sense age.
Yeah.
Haley Joel Osment
That would be good.
would be perfect. Actually, That'd be
Yeah.
a perfect cast.
Speaking
Who played
Danny,
Dick-
the kid who
Who
plays
played Dick
Danny.
Halloran? Who would play Dick Halloran?
Who?
Who would play Dick Halloran?
Oh, Scatman.
Yeah, like who would
Oh,
replace
who
Gavin
would?
Carlos?
Oh, Sam
I don't want to
Jackson.
say Samuel L. Jackson. No,
That wouldn't work. It wouldn't work though.
like just imagine like Samuel
Morgan
Jackson.
Freeman would be like the generic pick. You know, he's already done Stephen King in one of the greatest movies of all time. So, yeah, I think. But we all
Mia
agree that
Goth-
Mia Goth.
Mia
is,
Goth as
yeah.
Wendy is like almost. I think that's actually a better choice, honestly, because I feel like Mia Goth would nail that.
Who knows? You know the book, so You know,
I don't even know the book.
but you
Yeah.
reading the book, so you know the character a lot more than I do.
Yeah. So the maze scene, like,
I love how he dies. How about that?
yeah.
That's my favorite part of that whole maze
Another really
scene
scary
thing.
shot
Yeah,
too is it's like it's very sudden and
I
creepy.
found it funny. I,
It is a little funny.
I saw those
It's a little
memes. I
goofy.
always thought, I'm like, what movie is that from? That can't be from It is from The
From The
Shining.
Shining. It is from The Shining.
You know, like what kind of Jack Nicholson movie? I thought it was like some like comedy or some shit that he did, but no, it's from like
Nah.
a horror movie.
So it's just one last really quick thing about the maze chase. The sound is probably my favorite thing in this whole movie, and I've brought it up every single scene. I've brought up the sound, but specifically in the maze, right? You just have like constant, just droning sounds, just constantly going, and you hear like the chanting, like this chorus in the background, and then it stops, and then all you have is just the wind, and you have Jack Nicholson yelling Danny over and over again
Danny boy.
until like he's just dying, and then he dies and he freezes to death. Then the actual ending, like the last shot, one of the scariest things in the whole movie to me is that last scene, the very last one, where it's right next to the ballroom, and it moves past the ballroom down that hallway, and it just zooms in to the fucking zooms into the picture, and then it cuts. Well, it didn't cut, but like it dissolves closer into zoom, and then you just see like ball. It was like, I think I don't remember the date. I think it's like it was July
4th, 1923, something like that.
It's either 21 or 26.
Yeah.
I want to bet it.
I saw a meme. It had Playboy Cardi
Oh,
die
Jesus.
lit on the
That's
top
pretty
of
good.
it.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good.
funny.
Like imagine that party, but like imagine it Babylon style. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Jack Nicholson would be perfect for that.
Oh my God. Yeah. If like Babylon came out in like the 70s, it would be like great like Brad Pitt character.
Yep.
I forget the character's name in the movie.
I might need to rewatch Babylon. That's pretty good.
So what would you rate The
I
Shining
don't even need to.
1980?
We're gonna. I don't want to make.
How about I know it's your favorite. I can't even ask you like where does it rank on Kubrick movies, because this is top for you, like for sure, right? Like it's better than Full Metal. Wow. In my opinion, you want
only.
Yeah.
So you have Full Metal Jacket is one of my top 10 movies too.
Uh-huh.
You have The Shining, and then like not even a full rung of the ladder below, you have FMJ. You want to
like
talk
that.
about
That'd be
my
fun.
favorite movie structure?
Yeah.
FMJ is it.
Really? Okay.
I
Yeah,
love
agree.
movies
pretty
where
cool.
like it just switches halfway through.
Bro,
and it's
watch
totally
Barbarian. Watch Barbarian, bro. Watch Barbarian. I've been getting you to watch it. I want to talk about it on the podcast. Watch Barbarian.
Okay, now what would you rate it? Because we already know what it is.
Yeah.
But like, do you think like The Shining just deserves maybe like the top
Say
three horror movies?
Say this. The Shining, for me, as far as Kubrick movies, is not even top 2. I think 2001 is better, and I think Full Metal Jacket is. I think Full Metal Jacket is better.
The 2001 pick is like just like a pretentious asshole pick.
No, it's not. It's a
Yeah,
great movie. It's groundbreaking.
I don't care how groundbreaking it is. Psycho is groundbreaking. It's not better.
I think Psycho's a better movie than The Shining.
You got your fucking mind that you think Psycho is a better film than this.
I
Out of
do
your
think
mind.
I think Psycho is a better film. It's just my opinion. You asked me if it's the top 3 horror movies of all time. It's not my personal favorite, but on a technical level, yeah, sure, top 3.
What makes Texas Chainsaw Massacre a better movie to you than this?
I love the grittiness of it. It scares me more. It's just a subjective thing, man. Like, especially horror. Horror and comedy, you talk about sound design. That sound design scares me.
But The Shining doesn't.
It does too.
I don't think you recognize what I'm even talking about, because
Bro,
you didn't hear
yo!
the voices.
Heard this all before. You don't understand. I know how good The Shining is. I know how good it is, and I love it. But it's just not one of my personal favorites. A little bit overplayed for me, and that, to me, the love for it, it's kind of worn off, and now it's just like a definitive classic. It's part of the film canon or whatever. It's a great horror movie, but I don't see myself ever going back to it ever again unless someone else is watching it with me.
Yeah, that's a really awful take.
It's not an awful take.
That's just a bad take on your part, man.
Dude, I'm gonna have to listen back to this shit and listen to everything has been said. I've watched so many videos about it. So many people have come up to me. It's like, bro, The Shining. I've heard so much discussion about it. I'm over it. This is closure for me. This is it. No more Shining. We're done. I'm done. This is a glass case for me. I know this is the most angriest glass case rating I'm giving, but this is a glass case for me. It's a masterpiece, but I'm over it. All right, so you said Shining is one of your top 5 movies of all time,
Yes.
right? So just to close off the show, it's episode 13, so it's a spooky episode. Give us
You had some fucking scary takes at the end.
your top 5 horror movies, Liam.
Number 1, if you couldn't tell, is definitely not The Shining. No, it's The Shining.
Yeah,
Number 1 is The
the
Shining.
TV movie.
Yeah.
You got to neglected to
Yep.
bring it up, but there was a TV movie.
The TV movie. Yeah, so The Shining is number 1. Number 2 is Alien.
I like that one.
Number 3 is The Exorcist.
Okay.
This is where I was getting stuck. Cause like I wanted to throw in like Jaws is such a good movie, but like I don't want to lump it in with like it's not supernatural.
I watched it on the big screen last year in IMAX, and it was pretty scary. Like, I don't know, seeing it in a big movie theater, I got like horror movie vibes.
Actually,
more than anything else.
I wanna
Like the
move-
opening scene is terrifying. You know?
I want to move down Alien below Exorcist actually. So I'm just thinking like I
Okay.
know it's like a pretentious pick.
Really?
The Exorcist. I love The Exorcist.
Okay.
And my specifically my mom loves The Exorcist. She
I
loves.
prefer Alien a lot more than The Exorcist.
Oh,
to be
I
honest.
understand.
Yeah.
Anybody that says The Exorcist is overrated or they don't personally like it, I absolutely get it.
I'm
for
one
me-
of those guys.
For me, I like, again, I'm into like historical stuff, and
Yeah.
I have like this thing where I kind of like when like directors like play around with like religion and like the supernatural, like Raiders, for example. Raiders is perfect, where like it shows like the power of like the supernatural power of God. That to me, like
Yeah.
I like that. That's why The Exorcist is number 2.
Mhm.
Alien's definitely in the top 5. As far as like 3, 4, and 5 go,
No particular order.
Texas
just how about
Chainsaw
go with that.
Massacre, Alien, and I have it. I have my top 5.
Okay.
The Shining number 1, Exorcist number 2.
Okay.
What do you?
Wait, I thought
do you
Aliens was
think-
3. I thought Aliens was 3.
I'm dropping it down one more.
All right, Aliens is 4.
What do you think I'm about to say for number 3 pick?
Well, you already said Texas Chainsaw as well, right?
5.
So Texas is okay. What do you think is your number 3? Hereditary. Midsummer.
Close.
Midsommar.
Yeah, I kind of figured that you would
Yeah.
probably get that.
Hmm.
I rewatched Midsummer a couple weeks ago,
That's great.
and
though. It's modern.
I have it saved on a playlist where I have my favorite movie soundtrack. So like obviously I have Interstellar, most of Hans Zimmer I have,
Yeah.
but the last song in Midsummer, oh man,
Talk-
yeah. You want to talk about like The Shining is a very bright movie, but yet it makes me feel like a certain type of way. Midsummer, I know it's like it's it really it's a very modern movie, and like to try to compare it to all the other movies I just said, which are all classics.
I don't think
Dude.
it's that blasphemous to compare it to
Dude,
all the classics because I think it will be.
You know what I'm
remembered as
basing
one of
all
the
these on,
classics.
by the way? You know what I'm
Yeah.
basing these? I'm basing these on how they personally like affect me.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre grosses me out. Alien psychs me out because I'm like, holy fuck, if I'm in that situation, what the fuck am I gonna do?
Also kind of gross too.
And it's also and it's also gross. But and then I'm thinking like Midsummer, just imagine being in that headspace and then losing your mind after taking so many drugs, and everyone around you is either killed or they betray you, or I mean, and betray force, unwillingly.
Yeah. It's complicated.
Exorcist
It's complicated.
freaks me out because of what if God and the devil is real. And then,
Okay.
and then I start to think, I'm like, oh my God, like William Peter Blatty sort of based this like semi off of a true story
I forgot it was based on a book.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then
What
the
I
best
find
part-
about that movie more interesting is like the cultural impact it had. you
Yeah.
know?
because it's not like there is no, I mean, there's like a handful of jump scares,
Yeah.
but out of all of those things, like all those things I said, that
Yeah.
all those make me feel, The Shining makes me feel every single one of those in just this movie. It's just one movie. It makes me feel disgusted. It makes me fear the power of like, what if like demons are real? It makes me fear of just what if I was in that situation? Like, what would I do? And
There you
also
go.
too, like, just disgusted.
All right. Well, I'm gonna end it off with one more question, okay?
Oh Jesus, we're not even done.
What is your go-to movie theater snack?
I was gonna say snow caps,
Okay.
but I think as I've gotten older, I like getting Chipotle after the movie.